Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Le Mans International Karting Circuit. Myself, Henry Baudet, and the voice of French motorsport, Jacques Sabatier, join you once again for the last 9 heat races of the 2023 Rotax Max International Trophy. And Jacques, as you may have seen on the screen, during the lunch break, it rained again.
Et oui, malheureusement, la pluie est revenue. On avait cru un instant qu'on soit débarrassé d'elle pour l'après-midi. Ben non, je pense que ce sera le cas. Hein. Mais quelque part, j'ai envie de dire, c'est aussi bien comme ça. Hein. C'est tout ou rien. Donc, ben, ce sera la pluie. Ce sera donc les pneus pluie. Ce sera donc les formats de 8 tours pour l'ensemble des épreuves, moins un tour pour les mini, les tout petits, les micros.
Well, all the drivers are fighting for 6 tickets to the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Finals, but the journey there is a long one, and this is what you're likely to expect over the next few hours. Let's take a look back at this event 1 year ago.
Show me the car, way you turn me on. The way you tell me you want me down.
Good morning, everybody.
Done it, I done this before you fall. I won't catch you, don't know I'm stalling. Cause you love to have more crying. Calling me sweet, telling me you need me. But I'm from a city that's high school. I give them this and the more I go. Cause you a bad man, if she don't love money. She break hearts real fast like conman. Wanna swim down to the deep end. You know all my secrets, honestly. Can you keep it real? Cause honestly, I can tell that you're real fond of me. Baby, don't be shy, I can see it in your eyes. I've been running around. Too bad, I've been sticking out your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind. I know you stand you how you taking all my time. Left, right, can you take it all night? Too bad, I've been sticking out your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind. I know you stand you how you taking all my time. Left, right, can you take it all night? Take it, baby, with me, I ain't scared to take it. Oh, and maybe when I take it, oh, I feel it coming down too strong. Cause I want you, it is hard to resist. Cause I want you, and it's hard, baby, yeah, cause I believe ya. Go hold me tight, hold on tonight. Oh, then we'll cup up, we'll get to your clean and proper. Yeah, I'll make you know you can love her. You gon' let me on your mind forever. Ever, thanks, baby. Turn it down like a sweet and ready. Go slow, keep it nice and steady. Know that you've been keeping patience. Too bad I've been sticking out your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind. I know you stand you how you taking all my time. Left, right, can you take it all night? Too bad I've been sticking out your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind. I know you stand you how you taking all my time. Left, right, can you take it all night? Show me the car, the way you turn me on. The way you tell me you want me down. Pick it up, boy, you tryna find a piece of me, lick it up. I like when you say you wanna take it off. And you know that I'm bad. Too bad I've been sticking out your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind. I know you stand you how you taking all my time. Left, right, can you take it all night? Too bad I've been sticking out your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind. I know you stand you how you taking all my time. Left, right, can you take it all night? Take it, baby, maybe I ain't scared to take it. Oh, and maybe when I take it, oh, I feel it coming down too strong. Cause I want ya, it is hard to resist. Cause I need ya, and it's hard, baby, yeah, cause I believe ya. Go hold me tight, holding on tonight. Oh, then we'll cup up, we'll get to your clean and proper. Yeah, I'm moving, no weekend lover. You gon' let me on your mind forever. Ever, thanks, baby. Turn it down like a sweet and ready. Go slow, keep it nice and steady. Know that you've been keeping patience. Too bad I've been sticking out your mind. I know you like it how I rock it from behind. I know you stand you how you taking all my time.
Well, there we go. 1 year ago on finals day, it was hot and sunny. Finals day is tomorrow. Conditions very different now. 9 heat races to go. Each one of the 293 drivers have just 1 heat race remaining. For the DD2 Masters, the DD2 drivers, the junior drivers, the mini and the micro drivers, it is their 3rd heat out of 3. For the senior drivers, it will be their 5th heat out of 5. And this is where it gets critical in terms of the points standings. Now, all the drivers entered in DD2 Master, DD2, Mini and Micro will qualify for their finals. The drivers in juniors and seniors, there are 70 juniors, 107 seniors. We have to get those down to the top 36. We have 1 race today, the Superheat tomorrow, Jacques Sabatier, but this is where it really gets interesting and people start getting desperate.
Oui, nous sommes dans le cadre de ces phases qualificatives qui le sont réellement pour les catégories qui comptent plus de 36 inscrits. Dieu sait qu'en senior, c'est le cas. Ça ne sera pas le cas pour ce qui nous attend maintenant, où il s'agira avant tout de marquer un minima de points de manière à être bien positionné sur la grille de la Super Hit, autrement nommée Super Manche, qui ressemble quelque part à ce qui était les pré-finales, mais avec quelque chose de différent, dans le sens où c'est un cumul de points avec le classement provisoire que l'on établira ce soir. Et bien sûr, on connaîtra du même coup les qualifiés d'abord, et puis ensuite la position qu'ils occuperont sur la grille de la finale.
So, the first race of this afternoon, DD2 Masters, and it is up next. Here is your starting lineup as the drivers head out onto the circuit. Pole position, driver 724, Lennart Schreiber from Germany, and alongside him on row number 1, Primoz Matalic from Slovenia. Row 2, André Matis from Germany, and Maxime Gravouet from France.
Sur la ligne numéro 3, on retrouvera pour la France toujours Romain Manger qui a fait une très belle course tout à l'heure. Karl Clerbeau sera à ses côtés sur la 4. Olivier Paris, 4 également pour Nelson Desplat, France tous les deux.
On row number 5, we have Austria's Andreas Brenkusch and France's Florian Baudon. Row 6, Germany's Andreas Neumann and Denmark's Yannick Nielsen.
Sur la ligne numéro 7, Rémi Provost, le 729, aux côtés d'Harold Watson, le pilote péruvien. On retrouvera ensuite sur la ligne numéro 8 le français François Le Floch. À ses côtés, un polonais, Kyrilo Biryuk.
On row number 9, defending champion Vivien Kusak-Pico and Estonia's Pirit Sai. And rounding out the top 20, Igor Bukin representing Cyprus and Peter Gutai from Hungary.
Sur la ligne numéro 11, Charles Seguin, le français, aux côtés du belge Christophe Lasso. Sur la ligne numéro 12, Wim Rouleau, le pilote néerlandais, aux côtés d'Anthony Hogg, le pilote Émirats Arabes Unis. Et on sait qu'il y a une belle délégation d'ailleurs de ce côté-là. Et puis dernier sur la grille, il en faut un, c'est Gilles Berthelot, le français.
Yesterday, in the opening heat race, Maxime Gravouet beat Romain Manger in the dry. This morning, in the wet, Gravouet once again beat Manger, so it's been a 1-2 for the 2 French drivers in both races. They sit atop the intermediate classification. Yannick Nielsen is 3rd in the point standings at the moment. Karl Clerbeau 4th, Olivier Paris 5th, Andreas Matis is 6th, Vivien Kusak-Pico 7th, Nathan Desplat is 8th. That is the point standings. This will be an 8-lap race around this 1,384 metre circuit. Lennart Schreiber will bring them to the line. 25 DD2 Masters for the final time in the heat races.
Alors, attention, on a souffert un petit peu avec Matelic et Schreiber ce matin au moment du départ. Cette fois, eh bien, la leçon a été comprise. On ferme les rangs tout de suite. Et le très bon départ réalisé par un des hommes de la première ligne, Romain Manger, est bien parti également puisque je l'aperçois à la 4e position. Le premier freinage s'est passé sans problème pour le poleman Lennart Schreiber en tête de cette course.
Into second place, Primoz Matalish to the inside as they go through turn number 3. And Matalish and Schreiber had a bad time in this morning's and a spin there in the middle of the pack. 1-2 carts backwards on the circuit, and several of the drivers having to take to the grass to avoid. That was down towards the tail end of the field, but it's Schreiber with a good start and up into second position. Well, there's the blue cart of Primoz Matalish going very wide out at the banking. He drops to 4th position, but it's Schreiber, Mattis and Romain Monge, the top 3, with Matalish in 4th position.
Oui, on est arrivé à 3 de front là-bas. Attention à ce freinage du chemin au bœuf, redoutable et redouté d'ailleurs, alors que devant, eh bien, la domination reste essentielle pour le groupe de tête qui a explosé un petit peu. Il n'y a pas vraiment de contact entre eux et on voit Manger qui s'en sort le mieux peut-être du côté de la délégation française. Romain qui est passé 3e de cette manche, juste derrière Andreas Mattis, le pilote allemand, autre allemand, Lennart Schreiber. Donc ça va beaucoup mieux que ce matin pour Lennart.
And already you could see the black and yellow cart of number 770, Carl Cleribo, coming into the picture. Cleribo up into 3rd position behind Monge, looking down to see where Maxime Gravaway is, and the answer is he's dropped to 10th. So the chances of Gravaway winning a 3rd straight heat are slim, and as they stand with Monge there on the number 705 cart running in 3rd place, Monge would take the lead in the intermediate classifications, but Lennart Schreiber is making a good getaway. He's using the fact he's got no spray in front of him to open up a sizable advantage here on lap number 2. Vivien Cusack-Pico was one of the drivers that spun on the opening lap, and the defending champion is down in 23rd at the moment.
Voilà, et on voit là aussi qu'on essaie de refaire des handicaps accumulés à l'occasion des chronos, et Dieu sait s'il y en a eu, parce que ces chronos ont été particuliers pour cette catégorie des D2 Master. On se rappelle d'une piste qui s'est asséchée et donc des difficultés qui ont été bien admises et comprises pour la plupart des pilotes, y compris Schreiber qu'on n'avait pas trop vu ce matin et qui cette fois est en train de dominer complètement son sujet et qui a une avance quand même considérable déjà, puisque Manger concède 1,5 secondes.
Schreiber leads, and there's Carl Cleribo looking to the inside of Romain Monge through turn number 3. Now again the inside line, the entrance to the Duchesne corner at turn 4. Now they come through turn number 5. Still Schreiber leading comfortably, Monge, Cleribo, and then it's Andreas Matisse, Olivier Paris. There we're looking at the number 711 of Primoz Matalish battling with Maxime Gravaway, who's already gained a couple of positions after a poor opening lap. Cleribo to the inside, side by side for second place with Monge. Monge holds on, but coming up behind them, Olivier Paris in cart 771. Watch the drive with the black crash helmet and the red and black crash helmet coming into your screen. Well, he's dropped back a little bit now, but it's Matisse behind these two in 4th place.
Oui, puis on a vu que tout de suite Clerbeau a pris de large. On va regarder les temps réalisés par les uns et par les autres. C'est lui qui avait le meilleur temps en course tout à l'heure. Ça n'est plus le cas, puisque Schreiber, ayant peut-être senti la menace, en a remis une petite louche et le voici à nouveau crédité du meilleur temps. Un temps de 1 minute 12 secondes 743. Manger 2, Clerbeau 3, Matisse 4, Nielsen 5e. Voilà le top 5, un Danois donc à la 5e position.
Lennart Schreiber just sets the new fastest lap of the race. He opens up his advantage to 2.4 seconds. And there's Primoz Matalish running wide, getting past, going into the Duchesne curve by the purple and yellow cart of Estonia's Pirit Sai. We're on lap 4 out of 8. Pirit Sai now moves into 8th position. Maxime Gravaway has moved past them both and is back up into 7th position as Cleribo grabs second from Monge.
Ouais, belle bourre entre Monge et Clerbeau, mais ils perdent du temps. Et vous allez voir ce qui va se passer. C'est Andreas Matisse qui pointe à la 4e position, qui va profiter de l'occasion pour revenir. Andreas Matisse, le pilote allemand, on commence à l'apercevoir, hein. Il est juste derrière la machine verte qu'on aperçoit ici aux mains de Clerbeau. Bon, il y a encore un petit espace à combler, mais Romain Manger a semble-t-il d'un seul coup compris des choses et en tout cas attaque plus et du coup se débarrasse pour l'instant du groupe de chasse.
Into the Virage restaurant, the restaurant curve, turn number 1. A little bit of banking there on that first corner. It's a downhill, a slightly downhill entry into that corner. Use the natural contours of the circuit there to swing you round out of turn 1 through turn 2. They're now into turn 4. Claribeau using that inside curb ever so slightly to get the kart turned round without losing too much momentum. But they are now 3 seconds behind race leader Lennart Schreiber. Further back, there's Olivier Paris losing a position. Olivier Paris down to 7th place now behind Gravois. And into, that's, Andreas Mattis wheel to wheel with Monge. And here comes the green and white kart of Denmark's Jannik Nielsen in 5th position. Down the back straight, it's Mattis to the inside and 3 wide.
Ouais, et puis il perd du temps, hein. Manger s'en va. Il a pris de large à la 2e position. Il devrait la garder a priori. Par contre, il y en a un qu'on n'a pas trop vu jusqu'ici, c'est Maxime Gravouille. Et ça y est, ça commence à fonctionner. Meilleur temps tout à l'heure pour Maxime qui pointe à la 7e position de ce groupe. 6e maintenant. Maxime que l'on va suivre parce qu'il a ce matin complètement dominé son sujet. Là, évidemment, les conditions évoluent sans cesse. Donc, tout dépend des setups de base qu'on a décidé d'appliquer pour cette épreuve qui se court sur le mouillé. Mais le soleil fait son apparition à nouveau.
Into turn number 3 now. Looking at the 707, that is the RS competition entered Tony kart of Jannik Nielsen, who runs in 3rd position. Schreiber's lead has come down a little bit. We're on lap number 6 out of 8. There is the number 728 kart of Maxime Gravois, this morning's race winner, going past the 787 of Andres Matisse. So that is Gravois back up into 5th position, and that move actually gives Gravois the intermediate points lead back, as Monge is slowing. And that's Olivier Paris getting very, very close to Matisse and Paris the inside. Here comes Romain Monge in the 705, and look at Pirit Sai round the outside, almost 4 wide going into Parc Fermé corner.
Ah, et nos pilotes d'expérience, accrochage malheureusement. Reprise de la piste devant les autres, devant le peloton. On a eu un petit peu peur dans cet endroit rapide. Là, ça commence à chauffer un petit peu là pour ce groupe. On l'a dit avec Seguin, avec Say et avec Manger qui a rétrogradé au 8e rang et qui était pourtant solide second tout à l'heure. Je ne sais pas ce qui s'est passé. Sans doute une petite erreur tout simplement. Même les meilleurs en feront la preuve.
Pirit side to the inside of the number 787 card of Andreas Mattis. That is for 5th position. Mattis gets him back on the exit of the corner. The green and white Tony kart. Behind them is the number 706 of France's Charles Seguin. And Romain Monge slipping down the order. That has not only cost him the points lead, it's also cost him 2nd in the points, because Jannik Nielsen is now running 2nd in points behind Maxime Gravois. Carl Claribeau is still 4th in points. Mattis is 5th. Look at Primoz Matalish in that blue kart now trying to go around the outside of Olivier Paris, but they fall back into line. This is lap 7 out of 8, and a great scrap going down the back straight. And at the back of that group, it looks like it's Peter Goutai in kart 775.
Ouais, et Gravouille qui revient, hein. Gravouille qui trouve son rythme, on l'a dit. Au début, il y a eu 2-3 tours pour mettre la machine en route. Et maintenant, il semble que ça aille beaucoup mieux. Il est actuellement en 3e, mais pas le plus rapide, puisque ce meilleur tour vient d'être conclu par Karl Clairbeau, le pilote belge numéro 770, donc 2e rang, et a priori maintient à cette position. On ne voit pas comment Maxime Gravouille pourrait combler le trou de 3 secondes pratiquement qui le sépare de Clairbeau.
And now further up, this is the battle for 3rd position. It's no longer a battle. Maxime Gravois has passed Jannik Nielsen for 3rd position. This is the last lap. Lennart Schreiber for the MS kart team on the number 724 kart for the RTM Racing Team Margraf MS kart chassis. Schreiber has the lead from Claribeau. Claribeau's just set a new fastest lap of a 1 minute 12.280 as the track begins to dry out, but he's not going to catch Lennart Schreiber, who will become only the 2nd DD2 Masters driver to win a heat. Here he comes out of the penultimate corner. 1 turn to go for Lennart Schreiber.
Ah ouais, et puis voilà, le drapeau à damier qui s'abaisse. Et salue la victoire magnifique de Lennart Schreiber, qu'on avait cru un petit peu désarçonné par ces conditions climatiques délicates. Et Keneni vient de prouver que sa pole position était loin d'être usurpée. Bien au contraire, il a mérité ce qu'il obtient. Et puis surtout, il y en a un qui nous a un petit peu inquiété en début de session, c'est Maxime Gravouille. Est-ce qu'on était parti sur un setup un petit peu trop à côté du bon sujet? 1 minute 12 secondes 0,25, c'est le meilleur temps qu'il va pouvoir afficher Maxime. Et la troisième position, ça fait que 3 petits points, donc ça c'est plutôt bon. Coup de chapeau à Charles Seguin qui remonte de 16 positions. Incroyable cinquième et magnifique remontée. C'est d'ailleurs la plus belle remontée de ce groupe. On retrouve ensuite le pilote allemand Andreas Matthis. Le pilote Sey termine à la 7e position. Mangé seulement à 8e, 9e Paris, 10e QT.
So a quick rundown. There are your top 12 and the rest of the field. Lennart Schreiber, Carl Claribo, Maxime Gravouille, Yannick Nielsen, Charles Seguin, your top 5. Andreas Matisse, Pirit Sai, Romain Manger, Olivier Paris and Peter Gauthier round out the 10. Then from 11 through 15, it's Igor Mukhin, Primoz Matalish, Florian Bourdon, Nathan Desplat and the showman Harold Watson. Vivien Cusack-Pico finishes 16th ahead of Francois Lefloch, Kirilo Biriuk, Andreas Brenkush and Andreas Neumann in 20th. The remaining runners, all 25 drivers, get home safely. It was Christophe Lasso, Tony Hogg, Wim Rouleau and Remy Provost with Gil Berthelot completing the finishers. That is the end of DD2 Masters. Unofficially, Maxime Gravouille, Yannick Nielsen will share the front row of the grid for the Superheat tomorrow ahead of Romain Manger and Carl Claribo, your top 4. But down in the pit lane, I believe that very shortly Jen Wade will be speaking to either some of the drivers from that race or maybe some of the drivers from the next race. But with the sun now beginning to peek out, Jen Wade, who have you got for us? Well, just while we get ourselves ready for Jen.
Fantastic.
Jen is down there. Here we go.
Fantastic. How are you feeling?
This good. In the last 2 heats we had some problems, but now I think we found something to continue like this.
And how was the track today? Of course, yesterday was right in the middle of qualifying. You had that little bit of rain. Changed to wets, and today you're full wet. Lots of rain. Has it been much different to yesterday?
Yes, it's a completely different story. Today we had all changing weather conditions, and I really had problems today. But this was the first heat I'm.
Okay, so plans for many changes for the strategy tomorrow if it's dry for the first time?
We just wait how the weather is tomorrow, and then we just give the best we can do.
That's all you can do. Congratulations, good race for you, and we're going to let you go into the fun part, scrutineering.
Thank you, see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Well, that was nice to hear from Lennart Schreiber, our DD2 Masters race winner, saying that he had some problems yesterday, but it's always a good time, Jacques, to cure your problems, you know, have a win leading into the most important day of the meeting.
Ouais, c'est le moment ou jamais, hein, effectivement, cet après-midi, pour tous ceux qui ont connu quelques soucis, de se refaire, hein, tout simplement, c'est-à-dire marquer un minimum de points pour essayer de démarrer comme il se doit au mieux sur la grille de départ de la phase, alors ça sera la Super Heat dans un premier temps, et puis la finale dans un second, sachant bien évidemment que plus la catégorie comporte de pilotes, plus c'est difficile, plus c'est délicat, voire même plus il est improbable qu'on arrivera à se qualifier dans le top 36. Ça va être le cas pour les juniors, ça va être le cas également pour les seniors, principalement d'ailleurs pour les seniors. Ce sera un petit peu le bouquet final ce soir, puisque les 3 dernières manches seront réservées à la catégorie senior, catégorie qu'on espère voir rouler sur le sec. Cette piste est vraiment incroyablement compliquée, hein. En quelques minutes ça sèche, en quelques secondes ça devient très humide, très mouillé. Bon, ça va être comme ça toute la journée, je pense.
Well, before we get started with the next race, this event wouldn't be possible without some of our commercial partners. Let's hear from one or two of them before we prepare for the next heat race.
Why do you come here? Is this your career?
Or is it all about fun? A chance to get away and leave it all behind?
Or do you chase your personal best? Challenging yourself over and over again? Why do you come here?
Maybe you're here to collect moments. Good ones. And not so good ones.
Or you can't afford mistakes because you want that victory. It's all about this one moment when the hard work finally pays off.
This is the place that brings us closer to the people who share our story. Whoever we are,
Whatever we're here for, racing is who we are.
Over a little bit. You like the wet. You say it's not going so bad, but of course, coming from the UK, got a little bit of an advantage.
No. It's what they're probably used to the most because that's all the weather we really have. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see how this goes.
Now, of course, no DD2 in the UK. Not so easy to get a lot of practice. You got to all travel every time over to Europe or wherever you're driving. What's the reason? Why do you think we need to get more DD2 drivers from the UK?
I think we just need it to run as a class in the UK because we don't have any DD2 grids. We only have like a heavy class, so we only have 177. So it would be better if we could have the DD2 instead, really.
Okay, so there's a message for all the guys who'd like to try DD2. We're sadly lacking some British drivers, UK drivers. And from the driver, is it fun?
Yeah, it's by far the best thing I've driven in the 10 years I've been racing. So I'd highly recommend it to anyone in the UK. If you want to try DD2, find yourself a car and try it.
Okay, well there's an opportunity when the Rotax Max Challenge Euro Trophy hits PFI in a short time. So anyone that's interested, they're going to come along. Are you racing?
Yeah, I'm racing at PF. I've done a few bits of testing there. Now we're allowed to actually drive the class. But yeah, I'll be racing at PF.
Okay, and what about the competition here? Tough or easy?
There's some really good drivers here, like people who've done really well in grand finals this race before and in the European, so it's a really tough thing.
Okay, and your weather?
It's very similar to this. Well, it's always wet in the UK, so anytime we go testing, pretty much, you're guaranteed to have at least a little bit of wet running.
Okay, so slight advantage, but it's going to be fun. Everyone at home's watching. Anyone who you'd like to say hi to?
Just a hello to my parents who are watching back in the UK who can't obviously come out and watch here. So I'd like to say a big hi to them.
Okay, hi to Mum and Dad, and we'll see you in PFI as well. Will we see them?
Maybe for the Sunday.
Okay, good luck. Thanks for your time, and we hope to see you at the top tomorrow.
I'll try my best.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jen. That was Ed Matthews, who is due to start this race from 9th position, and Ed's sister Jess is mechanic. Jess designs gearboxes for X-Track and is a pretty fine kart mechanic too. But this is the next race. It's DD2 qualifying heat 3 up next. Eight race laps on a drying circuit, 33 DD2 karts, the ultimate Rotax class. Your starting lineup is as follows. Pole position in kart 693 from Denmark is Christian Sorensen and Antoine Barbaroux on the outside of row number 1 from France. Hugo Croquisan and Leon Mandel start from row number 2.
Ligne numéro 3 où l'on retrouve un Danois avec Rasmus Vandelbo. On sait qu'il a fait du bon boulot ce matin. Leonardo Baccaglini sera à ses côtés, l'Italien. 4e ligne pour David Maskaliewicz. À ses côtés, Maxime Dirix, le pilote belge.
Edward Matthews and Nico Jurg round out the top 10 on row 5. Noah Hipp and Lebanon's Matthias Negem on row number 6.
Ligne numéro 7 avec Jordan Kay, le pilote français aux côtés de Victor Sandin qui a fait lui aussi un très beau retour à la 4e place ce matin. Ligne numéro 8 pour Dylan Léger aux côtés de Nicolas Filappi, l'Italien.
Kane Cherian from the United Arab Emirates and Greece's Ilias Kalikmanis share row number 9. The top 20 are rounded out by Enzo Baloin and Mats-Johan Overhoff.
On retrouve sur la 11 cordes un Italien avec Gregorio Bertocco, ou Bertoccio plutôt, avec Kylian Guérin à ses côtés, le français. 12e ligne pour Xanderou. Attention à Xanderou, Kyle Keumaran sera à ses côtés, l'Emirati.
Carl Borgard and Nicholas Guillaume share row number 13 with non-row 14 Jordan Dalichka and Daniel Moualam.
On retrouve ensuite Alexander Scheblecker aux côtés de Clément Daniel. Sur la 16, Cornelia Oluka et Imke Hart, le Hollandais. Et enfin, Michael Rosina, l'Italien, sur la toute dernière position. Il ne va pas y rester très longtemps. Et les pilotes qui sont maintenant dans la partie qui précède immédiatement cette ligne de départ qui sera franchie pour la 2e fois de la journée par les 3e fois même de la journée par les pilotes DD2. Attention au départ.
We saw Ilias Kalikmanis grind to a halt. It's a false start. And they will go around again. Sadly, we saw Ilias Kalikmanis, the number 633, the Formula K chassis, grind to a halt. He will not take the start. And also Alexander Schiblecker in kart number 611 for the Schiblecker racing team on the Birrell ART kart, not out there. So we've got 31 drivers in action. At the moment, Hugo Croquisson and Ed Matthews are tied at the top of the points standings with 8 points. And of course, it's 0 points for a win in the heat race, 2 for second, 3 for third, 4 for fourth, and etc. So lowest points total actually gets pole position for the superheat. So it's Croquisson and Matthews tied on 8 points. Then Barbaroux and Vendelbo, who won the heat race this morning, they are tied on 10 points for third. Christian Sorensen is 5th. Victor Sondin is 6th. Then it's Zenda Rua 7th. And Leonardo Baccaglini is 8th in the points standings as we stand with one heat race to go down the Chemin au Boeuf Straight. You could see that even though it has stopped raining, lots of standing water off the side of the circuit, and the wind has picked up, which should help dry the track a little bit quicker but with the white crash helmet. Red and white Birrell ART go-kart. Christian Sorensen will lead them to the line. Lights are out. We're off and racing. Barbarou on the outside tries to come across, but Sorensen holds the inside. And Hugo Croquisson at the inside into third position. Make that fourth position as Rasmus Vendelbo gets at the inside. So the Danish driver for the Jan Darms team. Vendelbo is third. And a change to lead. Barbarou hits the front at turn 3.
Ouais, superbe départ pour ces pilotes dont on voit qu'ils prudemment décident de choisir des trajectoires fort différentes. Et là, on voit ce fameux virage du chêne où il y a des choix qui sont très divers justement de ces trajectoires avec beaucoup de pilotes qui escaladent le vibreur. Et c'est chose qui n'est pas forcément habituelle lorsque la piste est détrempée comme cela. Mais il semble que ça fonctionne bien, tout simplement parce que les roues motrices se trouvent hors gomme. Et ceci explique cela. Très très beau départ, on le répète, une petite sortie de piste mais rien de grave.
And Rasmus Vendelbo gets at the inside of Sorensen coming through turn number 9. Sorensen takes him back on the exit of the corner. This is the fight for second behind race leader Antoine Barbarou. And all very, very close into Parc Fermé corner. The driver in fourth position. Is that Leon Mandel? Somebody over the grass. That I think was number 624. Was it? That could have been Leonardo Baccaglini, but it is Barbarou, Sorensen, Vendelbo. Vendelbo now to the inside for second place, going through Restaurant Curve. Sorensen gets him back on the exit. Classic wet weather overtake, undertake.
Ouais, c'est ça, les trajectoires permettent évidemment quelquefois d'être plus rapide à l'entrée du virage, mais ça se gâte lorsqu'on verrait accélérer parce qu'on n'est pas dans la position parfaite, celle qui permet d'avoir un maximum de grip. Et là, je pense qu'il y en a un qui l'a compris, mais alors avec beaucoup de brio, c'est Barbarou. Barbarou qui est en train de complètement oublier tout le monde là pour l'instant, avec une avance plus que confortable, plus d'une seconde et demie. Et on le voit, il n'est pas gêné lui, il peut vraiment s'appliquer à des trajectoires idéales. Et dans ce cadre-là, eh bien derrière, on s'explique, on perd du temps et ça va s'accentuer au fil des passages alors qu'un pilote est au ralenti au cœur du circuit. Ça sent l'abandon.
A line of about 12 karts going through your screen now, all battling over second position behind the two Danish drivers. Sorensen and Vendelbo comes Belgium's Maxime Dirks, followed by Hugo Croquisson, Leon Mandel, Noah Hipp, Victor Sondin, Edward Matthews and Dylan Legier in 10th position. But Maxime Dirks there under pressure and getting overtaken by Victor Sondin. Now Sondin looks ahead of him and goes, I wonder if I can make some Danish bacon out of my two rivals.
Oui, je pense que Sondin doit sacrément regretter d'avoir raté ses chronos parce qu'il il a déjà repris 9 places, il est super rapide, il vient en plus de débarrasser un pilote de sa position, donc il a encore beaucoup d'énergie, beaucoup de possibilités, beaucoup de possibilités, mais attention, derrière c'est en train de pas mal s'expliquer, on voit des pilotes passer de front, mais pour l'instant ça se passe plutôt bien. Dans ce groupe-là, il y a le 615 Croquisson devant Hipp, devant Mandel, le pilote numéro 684 et Edouard Matthews, sachant bien évidemment que là aussi il y a des remontées, mais un petit peu moins flagrantes que ce qu'on avait vécu jusque-là, sauf celle de Victor Sondin.
And look at that, the sun now shining. You can see the glare of the sun on the wet track surface. There's Edward Matthews going into the Chemin Auboeuf corner with the number 624 kart of Leonardo Baccaglini right behind him. Baccaglini has recovered from his earlier off-track excursion. Then it's the number 615 kart. I believe that is the 615 of Hugo Croquisson as we cross the line. Now we're back up with Maxime Dirks running in 5th position. It is still Barbarou, Vendelbo, Sorensen, Sondin. They're clear. Then it is Dirks in the black kart with a blue crash helmet. He's got Noah Hipp right behind him. And now the battle is on. This is second, third and fourth. The 693 poles to Christian Sorensen. Now getting passed by Victor Sondin.
Ouais, et il est 3e, Victor. Incroyable retour de Victor Sondin. Un pilote qui est passé par la monoplace, qui est revenu à ses premières amours, soit-à-dire le kart, un garçon qui s'est battu pour la gagne en plus en monoplace en championnat de France F4 à l'époque, il y a déjà quelques années. Et en tout cas, ce retour est pas encore tout à fait gagnant, mais ça va de mieux en mieux depuis le début de ce week-end. Et je pense qu'il faudra compter sur lui pour aller se battre avec des gens comme Barbarou. D'ailleurs, et là, Henry Baudet nous le disait tout à l'heure, il est plutôt bien au classement provisoire. Si on en restait là, il serait 5e.
Noah Hipp in cart number 628. They're passing Maxim Dirks for 5th position. Zen Derua has only gained 4 places. He's running in 19th position. One driver that I'm looking at, even though she is down in 31st and last position, is Cornelia Olkulchka. And that is because she is on slick tyres. At the moment, though, she is 14 seconds a lap slower than the drivers on wet tyres. She's coming around the banking now and she's tiptoeing around. She's actually going to get caught and lapped by our race leader, Antoine Barbarou, before long. But there is a look at the Rasmus Vendelbo and Victor Sondin battle for 2nd place. Then you have the 2 red and white carts. The first, those the Birrell of Christian Sorensen, and then you have the number 628 cart of Noah Hipp. In fact, Hipp now passes Sorensen. Doesn't give him the old hip and shove, but he does move past with Maxim Dirks behind them in 6th position.
Ouais, Sorensen qui a perdu pas mal de positions. Celui qui s'est lancé depuis la pole a dû céder d'abord à Sandin, puis à Hipp, et ça le fait rétrograder à la 5e place. Meilleur temps d'ailleurs, et ça c'est intéressant pour Noah Hipp, vraiment rapide dans ces conditions délicates. Alors on ignore complètement évidemment si cela va rester comme ça demain, on saura ça. Et Sandin à la lutte avec Vandelbo, magnifique explication franco-danoise, avantage pour l'instant aux Danois.
And there's a chop to change there. There's Vendelbo back up the inside. No, Sondin has it at the inside of turn number 5. He just eases Vendelbo a little bit wide. Victor Sondin. And with that move, he moves ahead of Rasmus Vendelbo in the intermediate classification. Barbarou leads the race and heads the point standings at the moment. This is the battle for not only 2nd in the race, but 2nd on the grid for the superheat tomorrow. Sadly, Cornelia Olkulchka has brought her slick-shod cart into the pit lane, and it's still a little bit too early for slick tyres, but in a couple of races, I think, provided there's no more rain, we're going to have slicks. As we complete lap number 6, Barbarou leads by 4.2 seconds.
Oui, il y a déjà une belle avance. C'est vrai que Henry nous confirme que c'était un peu tôt pour tenter les slicks. Bon, ça aurait pu, hein, et s'il y avait eu un grand soleil immédiat, mais c'était pas vraiment d'actualité. De toute façon, elle a tout risqué, elle a bien fait. Elle était de toute manière très très loin au classement. Il y avait une carte à jouer comme l'ont joué des pilotes ce matin. Et pour l'instant, celui qui la joue, celui qui ne la joue pas par contre, c'est Victor Sandin qui améliore tour après tour ses propres meilleurs temps et détient le record absolu du tour, plus le record absolu de la remontée. Le voici second et des passages qu'on va qualifier à égalité pratiquement avec Barbarou, donc pas d'espoir de retour bien sûr. Il va rester seulement un tour au prochain passage de l'homme de tête.
Further back in the pack, looking at some of the battles down the order. The driver with the black crash helmet, the red race suit, that is Johnny Bravo. David Maslakevich from Poland. He is running in 14th position, chasing Nicola Falape, and then Matthias Legem in that bright blue George Gibbons motorsport kart. Falapi, though, passing Legem. Here is Barbarou starting his last lap. Sondin 2nd, Vendelbo 3rd, Noah Hipp closing in. New fastest lap for Noah Hipp in kart 628, 1 minute 10.348 seconds. Can Noah snatch 3rd from Rasmus Vendelbo and make it a French 1-2-3 here in the last lap of the last heat for DD2?
Et on le voit effectivement, Noah Hipp qui est en train vraiment de faire une fin de course impressionnante. Et Vandelbo, Rasmus Vandelbo, le pilote danois, est en train de souffrir, hein. Il doit se dire vivement que ça se termine, vivement qu'on me présente le drapeau à damier, parce que là j'ai souffert de Sandin, je suis en train de souffrir de Hipp. Et bon, a priori, je pense qu'il va pouvoir préserver sa position. Noah, de toute façon, ne va pas tout tenter pour aller chercher absolument la 3e position. Rappelons que nous sommes en qualification, donc inutile de tenter le diable.
Well, it's been a dominant performance from Antoine Barbarou, who is coming out of the final corner. Now he will take the checkered flag. Lots of battling going on. That looks like Ed Matthews trying to hold on to 9th place, but it's Barbarou, a dominant win on a drying track. Sondin takes 2nd position, and Vendelbo 3rd, and Vendelbo, that position just keeps Rasmus Vendelbo provisionally second in the points standings. Barbaroo will start tomorrow's superheat from pole position. There he is in kart 601, the Sodi kart driver. And Victor Sondin second in the race, third in the points standings. Rasmus Vendelbo third in this race, second in the point standings. Noah Hip finishes fourth, and then Christian Sorensen rounds out the top five. Sorensen finishes fourth in the intermediate classifications. The rest of the top 10, you can see Maxim Dirks, Dylan Leger, Leonardo Baccaglini, Edward Matthews and Leon Mandel, your top 10. Ugo Krokison, followed by Nicola Falapi, Mateus De Gem, David Mastakevich, Jordan Kyle, Enzo Baloin, Carl Brogard, Zendaru only 18th, and that cost him a top 8 start for the superheat. Carl Kumaran, the Indian Express, comes home in 19th at a Gregorio Bertoccio. Looking down, you can see the rest of the field. Sadly, Cornelia Olkuchka retired on slick tyres. Ilias Kalikmanis retired on the rolling lap, and Alexander Shiblika did not go out at all. And Jacques, we're going to be going down to Jen Wade again at some point, but the track is drying out. A dominant win for Antoine Barbaroo.
Oui, Antoine Barbaroo qui sera au micro de Jen, ça serait une excellente chose, sachant que pour la petite histoire, encore une fois, Victor Sandin, meilleur tour et meilleure remontée.
So here is a look at the weigh scales. There's Antoine Barbaroo. Jen Wade is not far away. We'll try and grab a word with Antoine when we can. There is the number 647 of Rasmus Vendelbo, and the number 603, that's Dylan Leger, going over the weigh scales. But I think we'll give Antoine Barbaroo just one moment to get his crash helmet off, and as the camera pans around, there's Jen. Jen is with Antoine, and we will hear from Jen and Antoine Barbaroo very shortly.
He's just giving in to his, and also congratulations. Okay, well, that was definitely standing.
Yeah, I was pushing all the time, but that was a great race. Yeah, the track was kinda, but we did what we have to do, and it's good.
It is good, and I remember last year, pole position?
Yeah, pole position until the final. Yeah, and until the final I did some bad things in the race, but that's like that.
But you know you're fast here. Obviously you're fast also in these conditions. How are you feeling now about tomorrow?
We will see. It's a different day, but the weather is maybe dry. Then we don't know.
Okay, we don't know. Would you like to say hi to anyone who's watching?
Eh bien, bonjour à toutes les personnes qui me soutiennent, à mes amis qui sont là, à mes parents qui m'aident aussi pour tout, à David, G453 qui me soutient énormément, et aussi à Sodi Kart, où on montre que quand même le châssis est assez performant, même sous des conditions comme ça.
There we go. Merci.
Merci.
Well, that's great to hear. And Jacques, we'll let Jen maybe find another driver, because we've got the junior races coming up next. The next race is due to start in 5 minutes' time. But, Jacques, you know, he's listening to Antoine there. This track, Le Mans, holds a special place in the heart of any French racing driver.
Ouais, absolument. Je pense que Le Mans, le nom à lui seul veut dire tellement de choses. Les 100 temps des 24 heures du Mans ont été un moment absolument inouï. Hein. Je pense que là, on avait mis les petits plats dans les grands à l'assez haut. Et de toute façon, le seul fait d'apercevoir la ligne droite des Hunaudières lorsqu'on arrive au circuit ici du Mans, ben voilà, ça provoque chez nous, amateurs de sport mécanique, eh bien une émotion toute particulière. Et je pense qu'on est énormément de Français à partager ce sentiment. Sachez tout de même que les 24 heures du Mans ont accueilli pas loin de 300 000 personnes cette année. Ça a été absolument fabuleux. En plus, on a eu la chance d'avoir une très belle course. Alors les 24 heures du Mans, c'est bien sûr l'auto, c'est aussi la moto, c'est aussi le kart, c'est aussi le vélo. Ce sera dans quelques semaines.
Yes, for a small town in north central France, Le Mans is special. Jen Wade, you're back on the grid. Who have we got with us now? Jen, take it away.
Top 5 almost.
Yeah, almost a top 5. We were struggling pace in the wet, and track dried up quickly, but I managed to get P6, so I'm pretty happy about it.
Of course, you have to be one of the better drivers to Le Mans at the international track.
I think this is one of the biggest events for every class in karting, and the level here is so high, so I'm really happy to be here and to represent my country, of course. From Belgium, indeed.
Across the border. Really nice.
Earlier it was really wet. We were thinking that it was gonna dry up pretty quickly, but then it just came down very quickly. But we made the right choice, so happy about it.
All good. Now we look forward to tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow is gonna be a big day, so looking forward to it.
Okay. Good luck.
Well, there we go. Thank you, Jen. I think that was Maxime Dirks we're hearing of. Now, look at that. There's the scene. Junior Rotax, Group A and D. Who's on wets? Who's on slicks? We're going to find out very soon. Junior Rotax up next. And in the space of just a few minutes, I think that slick tyres might be the way to go. 35 drivers. They line up as follows. Pole position from France, number 274, Tom Dussol. And Alberto Kiko Fracassi starts on the outside of row number 1. George Nassar from the UAE and Hannes Uberfeld from Germany on row 2.
Sur la ligne numéro 3, Kasper Schormans, le pilote néerlandais aux côtés de l'Allemand Kovacevic. On retrouvera sur la ligne numéro 4 le Français Thomas Pradier aux côtés du Hongrois Patrick Lipovic.
The top 10 rounded out by Anglo-Ghanaian Welshman Thomas Ingram Hill and Marlon de Salvo from Germany. Jacob Assam and Maxime Prudent round out row number 6.
Le Français Lucas Selle partage la ligne 7 avec le Britannique Max Cuthbert. On retrouvera ensuite à la 8e ligne Noah Janssen, le pilote allemand, aux côtés d'un autre Britannique, Cameron Nelson.
Timo Jungling and Alexandru Cesar Rodina on row number 9. Hamza Al-Fayez from Jordan and Olivier Ciopek from Poland round out your top 20.
Sur la ligne numéro 11, Mathis Sommet, le Français, aux côtés de Louis Comines, le Français également. Ligne numéro 12 pour Nathan Capen, le pilote émirati, aux côtés de Yvonne Simeonova, l'Autrichien.
Row number 13, Serbia's Uros Bogdanic and France's Jean-Paul Carras. Well, on row number 14, Austria's Moritz Kobalek starts alongside France's Lilian Suarez.
On est à la 15e ligne avec l'Autriche et Léo Clausen aux côtés du Français Thomas Hélier. Sur la 16e ligne, Matteo Bord, lui aussi est français, aux côtés de Jake Woods, le pilote britannique.
Matteo Kubrick, McCaden Higgins and Yuri Levar round out the field for France, the United Arab Emirates, Australia and Slovenia respectively. And mechanics, you can see there on the screen some mechanics into their microphones. That's Jensen Butterfield there walking through. You can see he's communicating with somebody in the team. He gives us a thumbs up. He's just communicating, saying, okay, this is what the track conditions are like, this is what the temperatures are like, this is where we've gone on slick tyres. Now I'm wondering, I can see Jen Wade down on the crit lane area, and I'm wondering if hi Jen, I'm wondering if you can see anybody on slick tyres. Now, this is great camera work. Who is on slicks, if anybody? Jen, if you see somebody on slicks, just shout and butt in. Oh, yes, you can see someone on slicks. Go on, Jen, tell us who it is. Right, go on then.
Allez, elle nous faisait signe, peut-être le dernier, peut-être Kaiden, peut-être Levar. En tout cas, il y en a qui ont tenté le drop, hein. Ça vaut le coup, je pense.
I'm going to have a little look. We're going to have a little look. Somebody at the back, I'm going to try and check as they come across the line. Who's on slick tyres, if anybody? There is a look at your starting lineup. This will be another 8-lap race. And we'll just try and see. Obviously, the slick tyres are a lot fatter.
Ouais, je pense qu'il n'y a pas grand monde. Hein. Je pense qu'il n'y a même personne. Hein. On n'a pas vu le moindre pilote rouler en slick. Je ne pense pas. En tout cas, on n'a pas aperçu ce type de situation. Bon, on s'est dit, je pense que le choix est raisonnable. Hein, parce qu'on voit qu'encore les pneumatiques soulèvent de l'eau. Donc, quand c'est comme ça, inutile de vous dire qu'un slick, c'est carrément la galère. Ah si, peut-être le dernier, tiens, qui n'arrive pas à suivre le tour de chauffe.
Jen Wade has been down there. Driver 218, Jake Woods, is on slick tyres. Now, Jake, he's got to get a good result to try and get himself in with a chance of qualifying for the final. Only 36 of the 70 drivers. He is driving for Lee Murray's MLC Motorsport team. He's got the graphics kit on anyway, so he's right at the back. Watch for Jake Woods. Is this one race too soon, or has he timed it perfectly? Dussel, Fracassi, Nasser and Uberfeld come to the line on a slick but drying track.
Allez, cette fois, c'est parti dès le premier tour. Très très bon départ du poleman Tom Dussel. Tom Dussel, attention à l'extérieur là-bas. On va essayer d'aller taquiner un petit peu ses toutes premières positions. Ensuite, on court-circuite littéralement cette chicane pour aborder ce virage à droite. Et Tom Dussel qui a réalisé le meilleur départ.
As the drivers come, you can see Jake Woods at the back there. He's about 10 kart lengths off the field. Oh, and look at that. There's a collision just off camera going into the Curve du Champ. 5 or 6 karts going wide, and Jake Woods on the inside there slides through, passes them all. So that's about 5 or 6 places he's gained. Hamza Al-Fayez has not gone out for this race. Up at the front, change the lead. Kiko Fracassi for Strawberry Racing, the Italian driver, takes the lead of the race. And I think, is that a CRG up into second, or is that Max Cuthbert? Oh, Cuthbert sideways through Curve du Duchamp. The Chemin Bouffe curve. And that is the number 227 kart. A fantastic getaway for Thomas Pradier.
Thomas qui a fait un départ absolument canon. Hein. Et quand il est comme ça, Thomas, attention parce que c'est un guerrier absolu. Même s'il a une tête de premier de la classe, je peux vous dire que c'est un garçon extrêmement combattant. Et je pense que le fracassant Fracassi va peut-être souffrir assez vite de la performance de Pradier.
Now, significantly, Jake Woods is 27th at the moment after starting 32nd. His opening lap was a 1 minute 13.607, but so were all the other drivers around him. There's the number 295. That is George Nassar on your screen. And Fracassi's been passed. So Pradier for France has the race lead on that CRG kart. Fracassi back to second. And then Uberfeld, Nassar, Shermans, Dussel, Ingram Hill, Cuthbert, Kovacevic and Nelson, the rest of the top 10. I'm watching for Jake Woods, and he is travelling at the same speed as the karts all around him. They're on wet, he's on slicks. We're on lap 2 out of 8. We just complete lap 2. Has Jake Woods got time to make his way up the order?
Ouais, c'est vrai que pour l'instant les temps sont assez semblables. On peut imaginer par contre que si les gens de devant étaient partis en slick, je pense que ça irait plus vite. Maintenant pour l'instant pas la peine d'aller beaucoup plus vite pour Thomas Pradier. Thomas qui a pris de large, hein, déjà 1 seconde d'avance sur Fracassi, et puis le meilleur tour en course, et puis que dire d'autre, hein, si ce n'est que tous les deux sont en train de s'en aller, de partir presque irrémédiablement.
Oh sorry, Casper Shermans and Max Cuthbert there having a little bit of a territorial dispute there. They both get sideways, and there's somebody running off the grass. The white crash helmet, that was the number 2. Who is that? That's the George Nassar kart, I think it was. Or was that Hannes Uberfeld in kart number 228? Anyway, the driver of the white crash helmet for the Kraft Motorsport team, I think that was, just about hangs on to it. He's lost a few places though. Shermans gets a warning flag on your screens there. That's number 229, Thomas Ingram Hill, and up at the front for second position. That's Kovacevic passing Cuthbert for 5th.
Et Thomas qui est en train de écraser cette course littéralement. Il vient de battre son propre meilleur tour, et pas qu'un peu, hein. Il est le seul à rouler sous la minute et 3 secondes, et regardez avec quelle aisance il est en train de s'échapper. Alors Les pneumatiques, encore une fois, pluie, vont beaucoup souffrir dans cette course. On verra comment vont gérer ces pilotes. Fracassi, lui aussi, est extrêmement vite. Hein. Il nous avait impressionné sur le sec. Il devance Casper Schorman à la 3e position. Et un excellent Georges Nassar, le pilote émirati, toujours dans les bons coups, la 4e actuellement.
Jake Woods is still 28th, but I'm just looking at the corner of my eye as we're looking at the battle between Ingram Hill and Dussault, Nelson, DeSalvo, Uberfeld and Lewis Comin on our screens, and I can see that Jake Woods is now quicker than the drivers around him. The problem that he has is that he has got to go offline to try and pass anybody, so the racing line is dry, offline is damp. Jake Woods on slick tyres can't quite get himself, he's lapping in 105, so he's 2 seconds a lap slower than the race leaders, but he's in traffic. Slick tyres are now the way to go for everybody in the next heat.
Ouais, clairement, le bon choix aurait été celui du slick. Bon, il fallait être devin, savoir que ce soleil allait sortir, allait aussi rapidement sécher la piste. Et attention, parce que tout à l'heure, c'est Fracassi qui a pris le meilleur tour. On voit que cet écart a du coup diminué de 3 dixièmes. Je mettrais bien un petit billet sur une petite faute de Thomas Pradier devant, puisque là, d'un seul coup, il a repris l'initiative. Et je pense qu'il va même améliorer son propre meilleur tour. Voir le tour de Fracassi également, Alberto Kiko Fracassi qui va passer. Meilleur tour pour Thomas Pradier, une 01.9, c'est-à-dire que la piste s'améliore très très vite.
Ah yeah, fastest lap there, 101.916 seconds, and new second place. Well, no, Fracassi still runs second. We just saw Julian Kovacevic, the German driver of the Kraft Motorsport team, pass George Nassar for 5th position. The two bright blue liveried karts, one for Kraft Motorsport, one for George Gibbons Motorsport. They're just in front of Thomas Ingram Hill. Then the battle you're looking at on your screen, that's Marlon DeSalvo in the number 241 kart, and the number 206 is Cameron Nelson. Just behind them is Timo Jungling with Lewis Comin, Hannes Uberfeld, Tom Dussault, the pole sitter, Tom Dussault, all the way back to 13th position. Lipovic is 40th, and it's Skeles, Ometre, Chiapek, Rodina, Suarez, Janssen, Kappen, Karras, Higgins, Levar, Simeonova, and Woods in 26th position, but still putting in personal best lap. And there's a move, number 229, Thomas Ingram Hill, repassing the number 241 kart of Marlon DeSalvo for 7th place.
Voilà, et on continue d'avoir à constater les améliorations très impressionnantes qui nous confirment qu'il aurait fallu partir en slick. Heureusement, j'ai envie de dire, pour l'équilibre sportif du groupe, eh bien, la quasi-totalité, à l'exception d'un pilote, a choisi les gommes sculptées. Et on regarde Jake Woods qui, lui, a fait le choix audacieux du slick. Eh bien, il est revenu de cette position. Il était pratiquement dans les tout derniers. Il est maintenant 25e. Donc ça sera évidemment une opération qu'on va qualifier de bonne, sans plus, hein, puisque ça sera quand même synonyme de beaucoup de points. Et puis regardez mon ami Henry, il est en train d'améliorer les secteurs. Donc là, attention.
Purple sector for Jake Woods, who should now, well, we're on lap 7 out of 8. Jake Woods is 25th, but he has got about 8 karts directly in front of him. Can he pick up any places on the last lap? Ivan Simeonova sets the fastest lap of the race, 60.428 seconds. This is a great battle on our screens at the moment. DeSalvo with a black nose cone and NASA panel, making it 3 wide on the inside, trying to pass Cameron Nelson and Thomas Ingram Hill. And they have got the KMS Europe. They've got Patrick Lipovic right behind him. Oh, side by side, that is Ingram Hill defending from Cameron Nelson. Then it's DeSalvo, Uberfeld, Lipovic, Skeles and Dussault with Chiapek next in line. But they're all chasing number 229. That is Thomas Ingram Hill running in 9th place.
Ouais, et puis on est dans le dernier tour, donc pas le moment d'aller faire des bêtises. Hein. On a vu que c'était quand même assez chaud dans ce peloton de chasse. Hein. Et Ingram Hill a tiré son épingle du jeu à un moment. Mais regardez, attention, ils vont arriver tous pratiquement groupés au freinage du chemin au bœuf. Et il semble qu'après cette victoire de Thomas Pradier, les explications soient plus que rudes derrière. Et tout le monde s'est regroupé quasiment. Deuxième place pour Fracassi, la troisième pour Cuthbert, excellent, 11 places 2 reprises par Cuthbert.
Yeah, Max Cuthbert just beating Casper Sherman to the line for third. But there is your race winner, Thomas Pradier. And Pradier now with still one junior heat to go. Pradier sits fourth in the intermediate classification. Fracassi, Kiko Fracassi, is currently top of the point standings. As things sit, he will be starting the superheat from pole position. Max Cuthbert there, sixth in the point standings, third in this race. Sherman's second in the point standings as we stand. Phil fourth in this race. Julian Kovacevic comes home in fifth. Then George Nassar in sixth. Seventh for Timo Jungling. Lewis Comin is eighth. Thomas Ingram Hill ninth. And rounding out the top 10, Marlon De Salvo. There's one driver pushing his cart back towards Parc Ferme on foot. That's never a good sight. And that is Mateo Kubrick. Morris Korbalik also failed to finish that heat. Hamza Al-Fayez failed to start, but 32 drivers did make it to the end. Jake Woods on the last lap gained 5 places, ends the race with the fastest lap of the race, 60.367, and he finishes in 21st from 32nd on the grid. Lewis Comin in kart 205 was the driver that gained more places than anybody else. But as we look down at the drivers going over the weigh scales, there's number 225. There's Julian Kovacevic for the Craft Motorsport team. Ben Hingley, who's helping to run that team this weekend, will be happy with that. There is Casper Sherman's, but slick tyres now. As long as it doesn't rain, you can put those wet tyres away.
Ah oui, c'est Jack Wood du coup qui s'empare du meilleur tour pour peu. Hein. Il n'y avait pas autant d'écart que cela. Jack Wood qui s'empare du meilleur tour, qui s'empare également de la meilleure remontée à égalité avec Max Cuthbert qui a lui aussi remonté de 11 places. Bref, les choses sont en train de se mettre en place tranquillement. Comme quoi, hein, la prépondérance et l'importance des chronos est quand même incroyablement impactante, peut-être trop quelque part. Je pense qu'il faudrait réfléchir peut-être à un équilibrage, peut-être la moyenne des 3 meilleurs tours. Tiens, on en parlait encore hier plutôt que de prendre intrinsèquement la valeur d'un seul passage.
Well, we've got a little bit of time before the next race. So the next race will be the last junior Rotax heat of the day, and that will include the driver who is currently 5th in the point standings, Boaz Maximov. It will also include the driver who is currently 3rd, Aman Hamilton. But Jen Wade is down chatting to one of the contenders from the race we have just seen. Take it away, Jen.
Of course,
with tire pressure, I think it was way too low, but unfortunately a nose cone as well. It's something I can't do anything about. On the inside of someone and he just turns in and then my nose cone is in. It's yeah.
It's not good.
No, not the things I want to.
Alrighty, but otherwise, Casper, you've been fast, I know, from practice through the weekend. We've been watching on social media. What are your thoughts now, from this point on? Of course, we've had some really strange weather.
I think we can, in dry and as wet, and in the full wet, we can win the race. And if the tire pressure is good, we could also win with this race, because at the beginning it was really good, but unfortunately got held up by someone who doesn't think that he could win some places when he unfortunately loses one and then just try and gain a few more back. But now he just tries to crash everyone off. It's the same in every heat.
Sherman's has a tip. Someone obviously that you think needs to get a little bit of driver coaching?
Yeah.
Okay. There we have it from Casper Sherman's, Henry.
Thank you, Casper. That was Dutch diplomacy at its finest. But Casper's saying he's getting a nose cone, so that'll be a 5-second penalty. We still have a few minutes to go. The track is now dry, and it'll be the junior heat race up next. But what we'll do, I think if it's possible, Jacques, we may have a few minutes just to maybe speak to a commercial partner, or you can address everyone in France to allow Jen time to get onto the W grid and maybe speak to one of our contenders for the next race.
Ouais, on verra. On verra en effet que si jamais elle trouve des voies intéressantes du côté des Français, ça serait intéressant sur cette grille de départ. On aperçoit cette grille qui est en train de se former. Ce sera la manche B contre C concernant toujours les juniors. Que dire sur les juniors max avec 12 ans requis à minima pour pouvoir participer à ces épreuves. Ils ont tous déjà un parcours dans les catégories précédentes et donc déjà malgré leur petite taille, leur jeune âge, eh bien pas mal d'expérience, et on voit que la différence de taille est importante, hein. On peut rester 2 ans je pense dans cette catégorie, donc voilà, il y a beaucoup de différences de physionomie par rapport à cela. Jane peut-être pour aller interviewer ces pilotes à chaud, sachant qu'on voit que là quand même le tarmac de l'après-grille est complètement détrempé, hein. Je ne sais pas, ouais, choix des slicks qui me semble quasiment unanime. On n'aperçoit pas de pneumatiques sculptés là pour l'instant, même si on le répète, il y a des endroits où ça doit être encore un petit peu humide, c'est le cas de l'après-grille de départ, donc il n'y a pas de raison que sur le tarmac ce ne soit pas complètement identique. On verra assurément que l'unanimité va être faite, et puis je pense qu'il y a une espèce de copier-coller, n'est-ce pas, à l'intérieur des parcs fermés où chacun essaie de s'identifier à l'autre pour savoir quel est le choix des meilleurs, alors que bien entendu chacun s'installe maintenant dans les cartes. Le timing est parfaitement respecté pour l'instant. C'est la dernière manche du jour, hein, si mes souvenirs sont bons, en junior, donc on aura déjà un classement provisoire ce soir. Et à ce titre, bien entendu, on regardera quelles sont les performances individuelles de chacun. On le répète pour l'instant, Fracassi, Schwarzman, Hamilton, Pradier, voilà le classement qui a été établi en direct par les services de chronométrage, avec Thomas Deschamps et Gérard Deschamps qui nous communiquent justement en direct ces classements. Et on regarde le ciel, on voit Jen qui scrute le ciel, donc est-ce que la pluie reviendrait? Est-ce qu'on aurait des doutes? En tout cas, il n'y a pas de doute dans toutes les équipes, hein, puisque tout le monde est en slick, on le répète. Donc quoi qu'il arrive et quoi qu'il en soit, qu'il pleuve ou qu'il vente, il faudra faire avec. Et le vent qui a tourné, qui est revenu côté ouest. Allez, on va écouter Jen dans quelques instants, quelques secondes. Interview, Jen Wade.
Now you've won this event before, new class, front row. How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Hopefully the engine doesn't stop this time.
We hope it doesn't stop. But what about that? Is that going to make a difference?
Well, probably, but I hope it doesn't come.
We hope it blows away. Now, Toms, how many times have you been here to the International Trophy?
This is my second time.
And you enjoy it?
Yeah.
How does it compare to racing at home when you're back, obviously, in Latvia?
Well, here are better tracks and better drivers.
And how do you think this is going to go? Obviously, tomorrow is a big day. What are your thoughts now? You've got this heat, and then we're ready to go.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to say good luck. Nice to see you back. Enjoy.
Thank you, Jen. Now, Jacques, listen very carefully. Meow. That was the cat being thrown right amongst the pigeons because it is starting to rain again. Ever so slightly, there is one big black ugly cloud approaching the circuit. Behind it, there are blue skies, but you can see some of the mechanics looking up, and all the drivers are on slick tyres. Could we please have driver number 601, Antoine Barbarou, to the stewards? Driver 601, 1, Antoine Barberou to the stewards. And there is a look now. The camera will go down the grid. Everybody on slick tyres, and all the mechanics will be looking to the skies thinking, oh dear, have we got a full slick setup or a wet setup? The next race is Junior Rotax qualifying Heat B versus C. It's the last Junior Rotax race of the day, and it's coming up next. Carts on the rolling lap. Here is your starting lineup. Pole position, Philippe Carras and Tom Strella starts at the outside of row number 1. Enzo Tomaro, Pero Tomaro and Brian Bourguignon on row 2.
Sur la ligne 3, Hamilton d'un côté et Clancy de l'autre. Sur la 4, Sidler et Grisel.
Row number 5, Boaz Maximov and Mathieu Davenier, Victor Galmiche and Vivien Guillonnet round out row 6.
Giacinto sur la 7 aux côtés de la Croix. Sur la 8, Avelsil Coutey et Morino.
Then row 9, Beau Louette and Elio Gilter. The top 20 completed by Lenny Passeggio and Enzo Courdel.
Radenkovic sur la 11 aux côtés de Cordier. Sur la 12, Thomas aux côtés d'Oten Sammer.
Then it is Andy Diaz and Jules Avril, Gabriel Hugon and Seb Stevens.
Samartano sur la ligne 15 aux côtés de Nive. Sur la 16, Boemer aux côtés de Yankov.
Then Mehdi Khanini, Eli Haddad and Johan Zablinski should be at the back. Oh, and a spin there for one driver. Now, it is only spitting with rain, I have to say. It's not, and Johan Zablinski is not out there, so 34 drivers on slick tyres, spots of rain in the air. Philippe Carras has the field at his mercy.
Allez, attention, chers amis, à ce départ qui est imminent maintenant, à condition bien sûr que la direction de course juge que l'homogénéité du groupe est bonne et que le rythme est bon également, alors qu'on voit qu'un espace. Et ouais, faux départ. Il y avait un très très grand espace sur la ligne extérieure. Je pense qu'il y a un pilote qui a eu du mal à dégorger son moteur. Et on voit ce pilote, il s'agit de Ryan Bourguignon qui a retenu un petit peu le groupe. Et du coup, on a préféré relancer un tour de formation, ce qui sera du coup pas plus mal. Hein. Ça permettra aux pneumatiques slick de monter un peu plus en température.
So, another false start. Tom Strella, who Jen Wade spoke to on the dummy grid, he failed to start his second heat this morning, so he needs another good result to give him half a chance of making the main final as we go out towards the banking once again. And it does look as though, look at that, there's blue skies in the background, but directly above, just to the left of there, you can almost see the tip of that black cloud on the top left hand of your screen. Have to say, I can't see the marshals or the spectators on the grandstand running for cover and putting umbrellas and raincoats on, which tells me that maybe those spots of rain has one driver stopping out on the circuit on the run down towards the panorama banking. I think is I can't see who that is. Eli Haddad from Lebanon in kart 281 is not going to take the start of this race, but Strella on the left hand side of your screen, Carras on that red, white and blue cart, the colours of the French tricolour, lead them to the line.
Allez, attention à ce départ qui va pouvoir être donné. Enfin, on l'espère en tout cas. Je pense que la leçon a été comprise et surtout que le pilote de l'extérieur a bien compris cette fois. Et c'est parti. C'est parti, attention à ce premier virage, toujours redoutable avec un très bon départ de Carras. Carras qui va virer en tête avec un petit peu de bousculade derrière. Mais pour l'instant, tout le monde est OK, tout le monde est passé.
All the leaders are through cleanly. Andy Diaz has stopped his kart just before the start-finish line. That's the second time today that Andy Diaz has not taken the start. Everybody else fighting through turn number 3. Oh, that's the number 237 kart running very, very wide. Lucas Stevens Seb Stevens but the rest of the field through cleanly, and up front it's Philippe Carras still hanging on to top spot. Strella right in his wheel tracks as the rest of the field go through the panoramic banking, and into third position that's Armand Hamilton, now making a move to the inside to pass Strella for second.
Ouais, très bon départ d'Hamilton, on l'avait vu se glisser au milieu du groupe, lui qui partait pas si mal, il était en ligne 3, mais là c'est encore beaucoup mieux, et du coup s'il a ce rythme, s'il a cette confiance, ça devrait lui permettre de remonter beaucoup plus haut. Le voilà déjà second, alors que le meilleur tour a été déjà bouclé par Carras, Philippe Armand Carras, qui voudrait prendre le large d'entrée et devancer direct ses plus directs rivaux qui sont désormais Hamilton, Strill, Grisel, Galmiche, Massimov.
And there's the move from the number 230 kart of Boaz Maximov, passing Victor Galmiche for what is 5th position. Maximov at the moment is 6th in the point standings. Hamilton, the only other driver in this race featuring in the top 8 or 9 in the point standings. Hamilton is 2nd on the road, 3rd in the points table. So, he's 2nd on the road, 3rd in the points table. Tom Strella trying to come back at him down the Cheminot-Booth straight.
Et ce freinage qui permet à tout le monde de se regrouper parce que là personne ne part. Philippe Armand Carras n'arrive pas et ne parvient pas à creuser l'écart. Et j'ai même l'impression qu'Hamilton va un petit peu plus vite. Et oui, c'est même de derrière que ça va encore plus vite. C'est Massimov qui vient de réaliser la meilleure performance chronométrique. Il est maintenant proche des 58 secondes, c'est-à-dire que les temps sont comparables à ceux du sec.
Look at Carras defending already in the turn number 3, backing the lead group up. Carras knows that he hasn't had a really strong result so far despite qualifying so well. He's not in the top 10 in the point standings, so he really wants a good position to solidify a half-decent starting spot for the superheat tomorrow. But he's got Hamilton, Strella, then Antoine Grisel in kart number 253. Grisel has just been passed by Maximov, so Maximov is now 3rd. And Carras has been moved out of the way. Hamilton finally gets Carras out of the way, coming through turn number 9. Strella follows him through. Maximov is up into 3rd position, and now Carras is getting squeezed like a spot coming through the Parc Fermé corner.
Ouais, Maximov qui fait le bon coup parce qu'il est pas mal placé du tout au classement provisoire, sachant que derrière ça muscle pas le terrain pour Radenkovic qui vient de prendre le meilleur tour en course, 10 places reprises pour le 11e rang maintenant du pilote Dossard numéro 297.
And Mateo Radenkovic puts in the new fastest lap of the race. The Belgian driver is looking down to see where Radenkovic is, and the answer is he's in 11th position. And a warning flag for Antoine Grisel as well. Connor Clancy, who had such a good win yesterday, but then didn't start the heat this morning. Connor is up into 4th position now for the George Gibbons Motorsport team as we look at the battle for the race lead. Hamilton in kart 224 and Strella, the Latvian driver, in kart number 238. 1-2 as we complete lap 3 or lap 4 out of 8. We move into the second half of this junior Rotax heat.
Ouais, pour l'instant, c'est lui qui va le plus vite. C'est Tom Strill qui a réalisé la performance chronométrique la plus intéressante. Et on le voit, il est légèrement retenu par Hamilton. Pas énormément, ceci dit. L'intelligence voudrait qu'il n'attaque pas, qu'il reste dans cet ordre pour distancer la concurrence. Je pense qu'ils en ont la capacité parce que Buzz Massimov n'est pas pour l'instant en mesure de recoller à ce duo. Alors, la bonne idée, évidemment, ce serait d'attendre les tout derniers centaines de mètres pour porter une attaque de Strill sur Hamilton, si toutefois, évidemment, les portes s'ouvrent.
Now, Mehdi Hanini has also retired as we look at Strella down the Cheminot-Booth straight. Hamilton holds him off. We've also lost Andy Diaz. Charlie Neve, I think, is about to retire if he's not just pitted in the number 203 car. Enzo Pero Tomaro, who started 3rd, is down in 30th position. Didn't see what happened if there was a spin or an incident off camera, but it's these two. It's Hungary's Armand Hamilton and Latvia's Tom Strella battling for top spot on lap 6 out of 8.
Et on aperçoit la différence de taille entre le leader et son suivant. Vous voyez qu'il y en a un qui est beaucoup plus grand que l'autre. Et il y a eu depuis toujours un débat sur le fait de savoir si oui ou non c'est un avantage d'être de petite taille ou non. Ben, la réponse, je crois qu'il faudrait la poser aux deux, parce qu'ils sont d'équivalence absolue. Hamilton devant Stroll, même si peut-être l'âge est-il légèrement différent à l'avantage évidemment de Stroll, qui pour l'instant reste bien en deuxième position. Course intelligente de la part de Stroll, qui ne force pas spécialement le passage.
The top two go through the pits bend, the virage to stand now. A long way in front of Boaz Maximov in third. Karas has fought back to take fourth position. Strella looks to the inside, going to the restaurant curve. Behind Karas is Connor Clancy in fifth. Radikovic is sixth. Then is Antoine Grizel seventh. Boloet is eighth. Followed by Lorenzo Giacinto, Thomas Behrman, Tino Sidler, Rayan Bourguignon, Victor Galmiche, Vivian Guillonnet, Lenny Passeggio, Henri Morino, Dragos Avalos-Laquite, Bastien Ottensama and Jules Avril, with Seb Stevens rounding out your top 20. Oh, Rayan Bourguignon, black flag for Bourguignon, and I'm not sure if that was a technical flag that he hasn't obeyed, or whether someone has seen an incident that they think is worthy of an instant disqualification. But Bourguignon's race is run.
Ah, c'est dur hein, pour Bourguignon, qui était plutôt pas trop mal placé, même bien placé. Il était là à la 12e position. Bon, il y a une raison savante hein, qu'il connaîtra lui-même et qu'il reconnaîtra sans problème, alors qu'un pilote sort très très large là-bas dans l'herbe du freinage du chemin au bœuf, et qu'on voit voilà, qu'il y a eu changement de leader, que désormais Stroll aurait pris la tête des opérations. Bien vu pour le jeune pilote autrichien.
So Tom Strella retakes the lead on the final lap. They're coming into turn number 5 now. What can the driver of car number 238, the Dan Holland Racing driver, do against the Strawberry Racing cart of Aman Hamilton? Hamilton takes it in slightly higher onto the banking. Will he come out of turn number 9 and turn 10 with a better run onto the Chemin-au-Boeuf straight? Strella checks over his shoulder. Strella looks to the inside. Now Hamilton will try the crossover mover into Chemin-au-Boeuf corner. It's not going to work there. He's going to try and get the run at the inside. On to the final corner. Strella has it. Hamilton wants it. Tom Strella takes the victory for Dan Holland Racing. Armand Hamilton finishes second. Boaz Maximov takes third, and that should secure 6th position on the grid for Maximov for the superheat. Hamilton should start to the inside of row number 2. Philippe Carras, a strong 4th place result for our pole sitter. P4 for the Frenchman. Connor Clancy comes home in 5th. Mateo Radenkovic gains 15 places to finish in 6th position. Antoine Grisel 7th. Boloet 8th. Lorenzo Giacinto is 9th. And rounding out the top 10, Tino Sidler. You can see the results on your screen, but Jacques Sabatier, now the sun is shining. That threat of rain came and went very quickly, and hopefully we'll have a dry conclusion to the heat races. We've got 5 heat races to go.
Oui, encore 5 courses, et c'est vrai que je suis assez d'accord avec vous, Henry. S'il fait beau, ça sera quand même beaucoup plus agréable. Alors la petite histoire nous est contée par Tino Sidler, qui s'inscrit comme étant crédité du meilleur tour en course. Il est suisse, il termine 10e, et vous le disiez fort justement, très très beau retour de Radenkovic qui prend finalement la 6e place, 15 places reprises, 12 pour Beeman Thomas, le pilote britannique. Très très belle course, hein. Une course rare d'intelligence pour Tom Stroll, qui a fait le choix de ne pas attaquer, d'attaquer au dernier tour. Ça a surpris Hamilton et c'est la victoire.
So the drivers head on to the weigh scales. We will get a confirmation on the amount of laps in the remaining races. So because the start of this afternoon, there's Armand Hamilton, was declared wet. Manuel Branco, the race director, we have on the timetable, if we have a slick or a dry track race distance and a wet track race distance. The wet track race distance is 2 laps less than the dry track race distance. Now that the track is dry, what Manuel Branco was saying quite correctly is that because some of the grids are split into 2, he will not change the race distances for one half of the juniors and not the others, so that every driver has the same amount of wear on their tyres. We've got mini up next, then micro, and then the last 3 races are for the seniors. as we look at number 211 going through there. That is Vivian Gionnet, second in this event, 22nd in this event last year as a Minimax driver. And I wonder now if we're going to maybe have the slick race distances or the dry track race distances for the remainder of the day, but I will keep you posted on that. But I'm assuming that Jen will be trying. There's Philippe Carras going over to speak to his mechanic, and his mechanic seems quite pleased with that. But we'll have to see if we've got Jen Wade down in the pit lane anytime soon. But the next race will be Minimax Heat 3, starting in about 11 minutes' time. So hopefully Jen will have collared some of our drivers after the end of that one. She spoke to Tom Strella before that race, and he went on to win. So hopefully she has managed to have a chat with one or two of the others before we get underway with our next race.
Et Hamilton qui fait la belle opération. Hamilton qui se retrouve au classement provisoire au 3e rang, hein, Jane.
Armand, an exciting finish there for everyone watching. So exciting, I guess. How it was?
Obviously, should have defended a bit.
Of course, I think
Smart.
of course, international trophy for you. How's it going? Otherwise, are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's very nice. We've had some pretty good races so far. I really like it.
And how does it compare with some of the other racing that you've been doing? Is it similar to, say, the European?
Yeah, it's very similar. Maybe a bit more competitive, but
Okay, sort of like a little grand finals with your own go-kart.
yeah.
Okay, exciting racing. Of course, we know Tom's is good. He was at the top last year in Minimax, so I think also behind you, got some of the quickest kids on the track. Well done. Congratulations. Anyone you'd like to say hi to?
I'd like to say to my little sister watching from Hungary, and all my supporters from Australia. Thank you very much.
Well, that's nice to hear from Armand Hamilton. Again, born in Australia, now living in Hungary, racing in the United Kingdom. The next race will be for Minimax. I can see the drivers down on the grid. There are the drivers' carts going down now. On the right-hand side of your screen, we'll see if Jen Way can dash round and maybe speak to one or two of the Minimax drivers. Nikita Lyubimov there in cart number 112. He's actually down in his toolbox there on the right hand side of your screen. Nikita, the 2021 Rotax Grand Finals Micromax champion. Now he's starting alongside Jacob Ashcroft in cart number 122. Jacob finished second in last year's Minimax Grand Final, so this is Jacob's second year in Minimax. This year in Europe, Jacob has raced I think 3 or 4 times in Europe and is undefeated so far, including coming from last to first to win the latest round of the Euro Trophy at Marienborg in Belgium. But this morning it was Albert Friend who took the race win. Albie Friend, who's going to start 5th on the grid for this one. He was second in yesterday's heat. You can see his mechanic Lee Taylor there in the grey t-shirt just wandering off the side of the picture, chatting with one of the George Gibbons mechanics. And Lee guided Callum Bradshaw to the Rotax Grand Final Senior Rotax Championship last year. He's now got Albert Friend under his tutelage. So we've still got a few minutes to go. I can't see Jen on our camera, but the Minimax drivers, it's good to see. Last year, Jacques, we sat here together and the Minimax grid, I believe, was about 20, 22. Now we're up to 33. But I think you can see Jen at the back of the grid there. Let's have a little look and maybe get a bit closer. But Jacques, there we go. Now let's talk through Jacques. The grids are up this year and it's good to see.
Oui, c'est cette année effectivement une grille absolument somptueuse que nous ont offert ces mini. On n'a pas fini d'ailleurs de se régaler avec eux. Certes, il nous reste cette seule manche de l'après-midi, mais je pense que demain sera un autre jour et Jen pourrait intervenir peut-être éventuellement. Pas sûr, et on n'a pas l'impression qu'elle ait vraiment la possibilité de pouvoir intervenir maintenant. On a un œil sur elle, évidemment.
So, well, let's have a little look. Now, there's the camera on the grid. Jen is with the camera. Jen, let us know, what could you see? What's the vibe? What's the atmosphere like down on the dummy grid?
I don't know. I think everyone's a little bit nervous. You nervous?
Well, they
Nerves? No, they're excited.
Ah.
They're all shaking their head. We're not nervous. We're excited.
They're probably shaking their head saying, no English, no speaking of English.
Okay, who's going to win? Who's the winner?
Oh, well,
Who's going to win? Jacob? He doesn't know. Albie? Nikita? Who's going to win this race? Cole?
I hope so, it's me.
You hope it's you. What about you, Cole?
Well, hopefully that it's me.
Okay, he says he hopes it's him. Nikita?
Me?
He's going to win. Okay, we're going to have a few winners. All the way from Spain. Who's going to win this race? You. Okay. Maybe 5 winners. 5 winners, Henry. Nice atmosphere. Everyone having fun?
Well then, Jen, you tell them that they better organise themselves and have it 5 wide across the start-finish line at the end of the race.
We're going to be 5 wide as we cross the line. And I think we're going to be 5 wide behind that for P2. It's going to be like Tour de France.
Ah, the French reference, the peloton. Well, Barry Ashcroft's got the yellow on his face there. That's the yellow jersey. But I have to say that the Minimax drivers, Jen, this year have been superb. Watching Cole and Jacob and Albie, as well as like Nikita this week, the sportsmanship has been fantastic. The quality of racing has been fantastic.
Fantastic racing, Henry. Really, really cool. Actually, I think some of the seniors maybe need to watch this race.
Absolutely. They can always learn a thing or two from the youngsters. They know how to get it done cleanly. Touch wood. Here we go. Okay, thanks, Jen. The mechanics are clearing the grid. It's time for Minimax Heat 3 coming up next. So there we look at the Minimax starting lineup. Jacques Sabatier, it's going to be a great race like they've all been. Pole position from Estonia will be Nikita Lubimov. On the outside of row number 1, it's Jacob Ashcroft. Maxim Bobrisov on row 2 alongside Jeremy Roivers.
Sur la ligne numéro 3, un Britannique avec Albert Friend qui a été remarquable tout à l'heure, on s'en rappelle. Cole Denholm partagera cette ligne numéro 3. Il est lui aussi britannique. Ligne 4 pour Nick Bezzelli, le pilote italien, aux côtés de Maxime Becker, l'allemand.
Then it is Joao Pereira and Lars Lambers on row 5. The top 12 rounded out by Tom Reed and Northern Ireland's Rory Armstrong.
On retrouvera sur la ligne numéro 7 un Français l'aîné Robillot Lagache. On compte sur lui effectivement. Le Belge ensuite Bran van der Weken plutôt, avec Tilian Apio sur la ligne numéro 8. C'est un Français, un Espagnol à côté avec Milas Malik.
Row number 9 will be Vic van Kampenhout and Marcel Zibo from Hungary, and the top 20 completed by Alexandra Parodi and Guernsey's Cody Lepatruel.
Un 11e ligne pour Yanis Courage aux côtés de González Léo pour ce qui est de la Suisse. La 12e ligne pour Léo Caté aux côtés de Lago Lempen, le pilote péruvien.
Row number 13, Patrick Nagura, and the only driver representing Thailand this week, Eugene Permez, with Joe Murad from Lebanon and Luca Bock. Next up, the final rows of the grid, Kieran Stewart, Padagiotis, Alexopoulos, Luan Seidel, Amelie Davy and Zednek Babicek.
Allez, ça va partir dans quelques secondes. Et le départ qui va être donné, oui, c'est parti, attention, premier freinage et très beau départ réalisé par la corde, c'est-à-dire celle détenue par Nikita Lubinov. Alors attention, hein, ce passage des mini nous fait peur à chaque fois, mais c'est eux les plus sages, hein, quelque part. Il n'y a pas vraiment de... un freinage extrêmement tardif pour un grand numéro, là, celui qui se termine par 88, je pense. À suivre, hein, puisqu'on n'a pas vu de manière très précise quelle était l'identité de ce pilote, mais il va y avoir beaucoup de changements, je pense, dans cette course.
A fantastic start coming out of turn number 1 from Maxim Bobrishov to take the race lead for the George Gibbons Motorsport team. Bobrishov, who had a spin in the earlier heat and only finished 20th, has the race lead up into second position. A battle for second place going into the Shemin Obouf corner, and that is between several of the Dan Holland Racing drivers. It's number 122 Jacob Ashcroft into P2, Albert Friend is third, Nikita Lubimov is second. The closer, Cole Denham, runs in fifth position, followed by Nick Brikelch, Maxime Becker, Vic Van Kampenhout, and then Lenny Robilo-Lagache.
Ouais, très bon départ de Bobrishov qui a réussi à s'extraire avec beaucoup d'autorité de ce groupe, dans lequel on a prévenu celui qui partait depuis la pole position. Maintenant, on verra si Lubinov arrive à remonter. Il est actuellement pointé à la 4e position. On suit bien sûr l'excellent Albert Trend qui me semble parti encore comme tout à l'heure pour faire vraiment une course remarquable. Il est actuellement à la 3e position.
And Bobrishov leads coming through turn number 9. Further back, Jeremy Rivers has dropped back to 15th position, and Tom Reed has dropped back to 17th. We saw Tom Reed running wide at turn number 4 on the opening lap. Here on screen is the battle for second position in this 7-lap race. It's Albert Friend in cart number 191 for Strawberry Racing. Dan Holland Racing's number 122, Jacob Ashcroft, has the third position, and then it is the number 112 cart of Nikita Lubimov, the driver from the Bouvin Power team, and Nikita needs a little bit more Bouvin power to get him back up past Ashcroft and Friend.
Et le premier français, c'est Robillot-Lagache qui pointe à la 10e position. On va suivre son ambitieuse remontée, on l'espère en tout cas, et devant on va constater, je pense que Bobrishov aura bien du mal à résister au rythme d'Albert Friend qui amène avec lui Jacob Ashcroft et Nikita Lubinov. C'est dans ce trio qu'on aperçoit à l'écran que le spectacle, à mon avis, va être le plus coloré, le plus haut en couleur en tout cas.
Now, last time around, Albert Friend set a new fastest lap of the race, 59.130 second, and he is bringing the rest of the league group up towards Maxim Bobrishov. As Bobrishov comes on to the start-finish line, Friend, Ashcroft, Lubimov and Denham will all get a good slipstream into turn number 1. At the back of this group, the closer, Cole Denham. Why is he called the closer? Well, he's got an uncanny ability to close out a victory right at the end of a race, especially if there's a big pack of carts. And the top 5 are now together, and they're briefly 3 wide for second. This is Bobrishov, Ashcroft, Friend, Lubimov, Denham, with Nick Brikelch from Italy not far behind them in 6th place.
Et Ashcroft qui est en train de fondre littéralement sur Bobrishov. Et je pense que d'ici quelques centaines de mètres, eh bien, la soudure sera complètement faite. Freinage du Schmerveux, freinage extrêmement tardif pour Ashcroft qui a réussi à refaire la soudure, et Friend qui attaque par l'extérieur du coup. Ah, quel diable de Friend, et derrière on a perdu pied malheureusement. Ah, ça bouge à tous les étages.
Ashcroft really committed for a move going into the Shemin Obouf corner, overshot it, and then has held up while him and his teammates side by side. Friend gets second position back and sets off after the leader, and Ashcroft in third position as we head down towards turn number 3, and Albert Friend takes the race lead from Maxim Bobrishov on lap 5 out of 7.
Ah, on l'avait senti, hein, Bobrishov va devoir subir très rapidement cet assaut. On pensait à Ashcroft, et bien c'est finalement Friend qui a repris les affaires en main, et je pense que maintenant qu'il a piste libre, il va pouvoir très clairement prendre le large. Je vois pas très bien si à moins évidemment que Bobrishov puisse se servir de cible de ce garçon. Derrière ça va revenir aussi. Attention, changement pour la 3e position. Ouais, une belle attaque du numéro 112. C'est la machine amenée par Lubinov.
And at the back of this group, the driver with the orange crash helmet, that's Italy's Nick Brikelch, as Cole Denham passes Jacob Ashcroft for 4th position. Albert Friend still leads this race, and he leads the points standings. Nikita Lubimov, 3rd in the race, 2nd in the point standings. Jacob Ashcroft, at the moment, 5th in this race, 3rd in the point standings. Cole Denham is 4th in the points table. Bobrishov is 5th. Jeremy Roivers 6th in the points table. Then Lars Lambers 7th, and Lenny Robilo-Lagash 8th in the points table. Lambers currently runs 10th on the road, just behind Robilo-Lagash, but Albert Friend now under pressure from Maxim Bobrishov as they come down the Cheminot Straight with 1.5 laps to go.
Ouais, on n'y croyait pas, ben voilà, il est en train de nous démontrer qu'on était complètement à côté du sujet. Tant mieux pour lui, avec Albert Friend qui a dû céder à l'assaut de Maxime Bobrishov, et ça a été avec autorité, avec élégance et avec finalement légitimité qu'il reprend la tête de cette course. Meilleur tour quand même pour Cole Delhomme qui a réussi donc ce tour magique. Alors il y a des situations qui sont habituelles dans ce genre de catégorie, hein, c'est-à-dire que les rythmes peuvent très vite changer, hein. On peut le moral peut en prendre un petit coup, ou au contraire être boosté dans la manche. Ils sont 6 maintenant à pouvoir prétendre à la victoire.
Half a lap from home. Bobrishov, Friend, Lubimov, Denham, Ashcroft and Brikelch out onto the panorama banking for the final time. Lubimov looks to the inside of Friend. Friend gets a good run coming out of the banking. Now Bobrishov has to defend down the back straight. He looks to the inside. Friend will try to go to the outside. Watch for Cole Denham on the outside.
Attention derrière, ça va bouger. Hop, et contact, et Friend va faire les frais de l'opération dans le dernier tour. Quel dommage.
Bobrishov takes the win. 2nd is Lubimov, Ashcroft 3rd. Denham and Friend side by side going into the paddock bend there. I think Denham was trying to cut across. Friend was on the outside, and side by side contact. Friend over the grass. Albert Friend finishes in 6th position. Nick Brikelch grabs 4th place, but Maxim Bobrishov takes the win, and just at the end, Nikita Lubimov, because of that move, and it was Cole Denham was trying to cut back across to get a better line out of the penultimate corner. Albert Friend was on the outside line already, and that move cost Albert Friend a pole position for the superheat. Nikita Lubimov now leads the point standings. Albert Friend 2nd, Jacob Ashcroft 3rd, and Cole Denham in 4th. But it's Bobrishov, Lubimov, Ashcroft, Denham, Brikelch and Friend, the top 6. You can see the results on your screen. Maxime Becker, Vic van Kampenhout, Lenny Robilo-Lagash, Lars Lambers, the top 10. Then Jeremy Roivers, Rory Armstrong, Zdenek Babicek from 33rd to 13th. Another great drive from Zdenek. Then Marcel Zibo, Joao Pereira, Leo Gonzalez, Tom Reed, Patrick Nigura, Nilas Malik and Bran van der Weken, your top 20. But 3 wide, Jacques Sabatier, going into this corner that you're looking at on screen.
Ça a été magique là, le dernier passage. Meilleur tour, ceci dit, pour Cole Denham, on s'en rappellera, on va loger ça dans nos petites cervelles. Et puis 20 places reprises par Zdenek qui partait bon dernier et qui termine 13e. Coup de chapeau à ce garçon qui n'avait pas de chrono, qui avait connu des soucis. Il nous vient de République tchèque.
Well, that was they weren't quite 5 wide across the line. They were 3 wide into the penultimate corner. But before the next race, which will be the final Micromax heat of the day, let's have 1 or 2 words from some of our commercial partners that make this coverage happen.
like 1, 2, 3.
Now I've spotted a familiar face, Henry, on the grid. Tristram Oman, he's having a bad day, but we've just waved the magic wand. Austin, did you make a wish? You made a wish? Okay. What did you wish for? You can tell just me. Okay, you very good. Austin wants to win. He's made the wish, but we won't tell anyone. It's a secret. Okay, and over here, of course, we got Emerson. Now, Emerson, I saw you racing in the UK. Should I talk to you or your dad? Tell us a little bit about how your weekend's going.
At the start of the weekend, we were practicing. We had quite good practice because it's a new track. Well, this is our first time in Europe, so we need to get used to the track, but we've had quite a good weekend so far.
Has it been fun? I mean, a little bit of rain, bit of soccer. We played cricket yesterday.
Yeah, I've had a couple of fun times here, but I mainly want to win.
You want to win. Everyone wants to win. But winning's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, and what about without the winning? Some good battles on the track here at Le Mans. I mean, it's a fantastic circuit.
Yeah, I really like the circuit, and I hope
Okay, now I'll talk to your dad about that. Okay, come on. He hopes he can come again, but tell me, what are you doing here?
We just thought we'd come out and spend our first time out here with the team and just get a bit of experience so he can cut his teeth in Europe.
Of course, this is a little bit of a dream come true, isn't it? Racing in Le Mans.
Just a bit, yeah. And the team invited him out, said to come out with them, and yeah, it's been great for him, and the team are magnificent with him.
What would you say is one of the most important things for a driver at this age, young drivers to learn?
Just staying grounded and making sure that their focus is in the right place, and also just making sure that they're competitive but also respectful.
So a little bit of respect in karting, respect in sport is important.
Totally, yeah.
Okay, and what about next year?
That's a big question. I'm not sure, depending on height and everything around it, but we may move up, but hopefully be back for sure.
Okay, we wish you luck. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Jen. See, is the atmosphere down on the grid, Jen, any less nervous for Micro Max than it was for Mini Max?
Actually, I think the micros don't really think about being nervous. Nobody's nervous, are they?
No. Of course, the Micro Maxes just don't think.
This is really what they're looking forward to, is getting out there with all the others. There's Zach Speed in the front row. He's also looking forward to it, aren't you, Zach? Yep. There's Zach. Zach's got his beautiful purple visor. Isn't that cool?
Ooh, it's my favourite word. It's iridium. It's an iridium visor. I love the word iridium.
And over the other side, we got little San Lindemann from the Netherlands. Hello, San.
Sen's focused. Yeah. Sen, the defending champion, asking, do you think you make it 2 wins out of 2?
You want to win again, Sen? Yeah, he says yes. He's going for the ticket.
He is. Now, Jensen Chalk is there in cart number 18. There's Mike Chalk, Jensen's dad, behind him. Mummy Chalk is probably crouching behind a barrier somewhere.
Where's Mummy Chalk?
I think she's watching for the first time today. She doesn't normally watch any of the races.
Okay, so she's also growing with the...
Yeah, she is, yeah. She's just scared.
Actually, I think there's a lot of mums and dads that feel the same. But she wants to be here.
Yeah, she wants to be here. She just can't watch it. But she watched the first one, so now she feels she's got to watch all of them.
That's nice. What do you think? Is that good that your mum watches, or is it better that she's hiding?
It's better that she's watching because it's like more cheering me on.
Also, you don't have to explain to her about everything that happened, do you?
Not really.
Okay, Jensen. Really nice. What's really nice, Henry, to see so many young drivers here, all enjoying the experience, having a nice summer break. So competitive, lots of good and bad stories, I know, so far, because the rain has really made it difficult. But in the meantime, it's so nice to see everybody here, learning so much and watching some really good racing.
Yes, the kids are having a nice summer break, spending mum and dad's hard-earned money on their hobby. Thanks, Jen. We do have an announcement to make in the paddock. We need the following drivers to come to the race stewards immediately. Driver number 257, Yvonne Simeonova. Driver number 204, Maxime Prudent. Driver 228, Hannes Uberfeld. And driver 229, Thomas Ingram Hill. Could you please go to the stewards immediately, please? Yvonne Simeonova, Hannes Uberfeld, Maxime Prudent, and Thomas Ingram Hill. Well, now that Jen has had a chat to some of the drivers, the races now are going to be slick dry race length. So this race will be a 9-lap race. The senior heats that follow will be 10-lap races. There is Zach Zhu on our screens there, and Jacques Sabatier, you know, as a Frenchman, seeing a young French driver on the front of the grid, a very smart looking kart. He looks very, very cool and chilled indeed.
Ouais, on est habitué à le voir performer, Zach Zhu, qu'on aperçoit sur toutes les épreuves nationales, mais également les classiques, et bien entendu, on le retrouvera, je l'espère en tout cas, pour une très belle course à Varennes-sur-Alais bientôt, dans le cadre justement de ce qui est l'organisation de 3MK Events avec les NSK qui reste un véritable incontournable, on va dire, ici en France.
And now the mechanics leave the grid. It's time for Micromax Heat 3 coming up next. So we will give you the full starting lineup and the points situation going into this final heat race. Pole position, driving kart number 88 is Zach Zhu. There he is, and alongside on row number 1, that is Sen Lindemann. You can just see on the inside of row number 2, the front of his Dan Holland racing kart. That's Emerson McAndrew Uren and Jensen Chalk on the outside of row 2.
Sur la ligne numéro 3, on retrouve un Britannique avec Riley Muro à ses côtés, Sheleken Senna, le pilote néerlandais. Ligne 4, 2 Britanniques avec Austin Oman du côté gauche et Oliver Warner du côté droit.
On row number 5, Carsten Suhr from France and Poland's Michael Zoscher. And on row number 6, Alexander Christoph and Jack Freeman.
Sur la ligne numéro 7, Laurence Ava, le pilote émirati aux côtés de Mathis Brageau, le français. La 8 dévolue à Kimi May, l'allemand, et à Ray Haber, le pilote émirati.
On the inside of row number 9, it's Andorra's Anton Bouchard and Jensen Walker. And rounding out your top 20, Samuel Ugon and Boris Maligranda.
On retrouvera Vito Cosa sur la ligne numéro 11. Tiens, il a aussi le numéro 11 lui, avec Marc-Andrea Quesada à ses côtés, le pilote français. Ligne numéro 12 pour Emilien Boul et Nicolas Durchewitz, le pilote autrichien, émirati pour Boul. Et puis le dernier sur cette grille de départ, c'est Kenzo Genut qui va s'élancer avec un challenge qui va être intéressant. Hein. Il y a aussi moyen d'utiliser ces courses pour progresser. Il faut bien débuter un jour. C'est la situation la plus intéressante, je pense, pour être aussi rapide que vont l'être ces gamins plus tard. Et attention au départ, Henry. Ce départ qui va être super chaud, je pense, pour les jeunes.
Pole position, Zach Zhu has 3 points and is second in the point standings. Jensen Chalk has 2 points and leads the point standings. Emerson McAndrew-Uren, 5 points. He's third in the point standings. They come to the line. Lights are out. We are off and racing. Zhu has the lead down towards turn number 1, and Lindemann on the outside gets squeezed a little bit. Sen Lindemann drops back to 4th position, and up into P2 is Emerson McAndrew-Uren, and that looks like Riley Murrow up into 3rd position for the Sam Pollitt Racing Team. Great start, and Emerson McAndrew-Uren leads.
Ah, il a perdu pas mal de positions, Zach. Zach qui a dû perdre au moins 3 positions dans ce premier tour. Alors, il faut le temps de trouver son rythme, évidemment, mais c'est le cas pour tout le monde. Il y en a qui sont peut-être un petit peu plus prompts à la réaction dans les premiers passages. Il y a un peu de stress, il y a un peu de tout cela qui fait que, eh bien, pour l'instant, les rôles sont changés, passablement changés. On a vu Muro, on a vu Charles qui est réalisateur d'un bon départ également.
Austin Oman running a little bit wide on the banking there. Here comes Sen Lindemann trying to pass Riley Murrow for 2nd position. Murrow, last year's British Bambino champion. Jensen Chalk runs in 4th position. Zach Zhu has fallen well back. Zach Zhu down to 5th position. So at the moment, Emerson McAndrew-Uren leads the race and moves into top spot in the points table by 1 point. Emerson McAndrew-Uren on 5 points. Jensen Chalk 6. Zach Zhu on 8. As things stand in the points table, Riley Murrow having a storming drive in 2nd position for Sam Pollitt Racing, and the defending champion Sen Lindemann in cart number 1 chasing hard in 3rd.
Ouais, on avait fait les calculs avant le départ et je pense que le plan de marche du côté du leader de McAndrew-Uren était clair. Hein. Il faut absolument remporter cette épreuve pour s'élancer en pole position à l'occasion de la Super Heat demain. Et je pense pour l'instant, il a bien compris le message et il envoie du bois. Il est en train de creuser un petit écart. Certes, ça ne sera pas définitif. Il va falloir attendre un petit peu plus. Muro, Lindemann, Charles Zhu pour le top 5.
And Jensen Chalk moves into 3rd position at the expense of Sen Lindemann behind the top 5. Ooh. Oliver Warner runs in 6th position, and just at the back of our screen there, a couple of drivers run off wide coming through turn number 11. Try and see who they are. Ray Haber is one of them. Vito Koza is another. Jensen Walker and Ava Lawrence involved. But here are your top 5. It's McAndrew-Uren from Murrow, Chalk and Lindemann.
Ouais, les choses sont en train de se resserrer à nouveau. On pensait que McAndrew pourrait partir. Ça n'est pas le cas pour l'instant. Et tant mieux pour nous, spectateurs de ce spectacle tellement agréable, tellement incroyable pour des mômes qui ont 8-9 ans. Ça paraît incroyable. Et quand on les voit sans leur casque, on se dit mais c'est pas possible que ce soit eux qui fassent ce type de travail. Eh bien si, la preuve en est donnée. Zach Zhu qui a repris un rang, qui se retrouve désormais à la 4e position. Et pourquoi pas une attaque pour aller chercher le 3e. C'est fait.
Zach Zhu up into 3rd position, make that 4th position, rather, no, 3rd position. Riley Murrow has dropped back to 5th, so Zhu now moves into P3. McAndrew-Uren leads, Chalk is 2nd. As things stand, Jensen Chalk will start from pole position for the Super Heat, but by 1 point, a long way to go. This is only lap 4 out of 9. Ava Lawrence, meanwhile, has had to retire as Chalk makes the move. Jensen Chalk for MLC Motorsport takes the lead going into turn number 3.
Incroyable, hein? Chalk qui a vraiment un niveau de détermination incroyable et qui est en train de démontrer que sa vitesse elle est suffisante pour aller chercher la première position alors qu'on est loin du terme de la course, hein. On est seulement au 4e tour, donc autant vous dire qu'il peut encore se passer beaucoup de choses, y compris à l'avant de ce groupe compact, de cet ensemble pour l'instant extrêmement clair également, hein. Pas de mauvais gestes, rien que du sport et du beau sport.
Into turn number 11 on lap 4. Chalk leads McAndrew-Uren, Lindemann, Zach Zhu. Oh, and over the grass goes Riley Murrow. Does he save it? Yes, he does. And that pushes him down to 6th position. Oliver Warner for the Argenti Motorsport team. The team set up by Ron Meadows from the Mercedes Formula 1 squad. Warner moves into 5th position. Murrow down to 6th. Then a big gap back to 7th. Here comes Emerson McAndrew-Uren back to the inside. And Sen Lindemann capitalises to to push Jensen Chalk down to third.
Eh oui, mais ils perdent du temps, ils s'attaquent et ils perdent beaucoup de temps, ce qui permet à tout le monde de rester dans le paquet. Je dirais même que Warner peut venir se mêler à la lutte avec Muro qui a perdu une position et Zach Zhu du coup qui a recollé à nouveau à ce trio. Donc côté moral évidemment ça va aller beaucoup mieux. Et on voit le casque noir du jeune Zach Speed. L'appelle-t-on dans le jargon.
Zach Speed, ex-Formula One team, German touring car expertise, and Zach showing great speed in fourth place at the moment as Jensen Chalk retakes Sen Lindemann for second position. They come out of the Virage du Stand on to complete lap number 5 and go on to lap 6 out of 7. These 6 karts are clear of Senna Shalikans in 7th, Jack Freeman in 8th, Matis Bragio 9th, Anton Bouchard is 10th, followed by Michael Zosha, then Boris Maligranda, Mark Quesada, Austin Oman, Carsten Suhr, Samuel Ugon, Alexander Kristoff, Emilian Buell and Nikola Djurjevic. That's your top 19 with Kenzo Greenhut rounding out the top 20.
Lindemann il est là encore, hein, il est carrément discret on va dire, mais c'est souvent de cette discrétion bien que sortent les diables du chapeau ensuite lorsque ça compte, c'est-à-dire ce sera seulement demain évidemment l'occasion de la phase finale et la grosse attaque de McAndrew Irene qui essaie de prendre le large mais ça ne marche pas pour l'instant. Les rythmes sont très équivalents avec Chalk, avec Lindemann, avec Zhu et même Warner qui va venir se mêler à cette lutte. Beaucoup de Britanniques dans les avant-scènes et avant-postes, hein.
Emerson McAndrew Uren got his line wrong going into Parc Fermé Bend, and that gives Jensen Chalk the opportunity he needs to take the lead as they start lap number 7 through Restaurant Curve. It's now Chalk, McAndrew Uren and Lindemann the top 3, Zhu in 4th, Warner closing in 5th. Here comes Sen Lindemann looking at the inside of Emerson McAndrew Uren, and McAndrew Uren closes the door.
Quelque chose me dit qu'Oliver Warner est peut-être l'homme du match, hein. On va savoir ça assez vite. Warner qui en quelques passages a réussi à rejoindre ce groupe et surtout à se battre avec Zhu, à se battre avec Lindemann, avec tous ceux justement qui sont à même de pouvoir potentiellement aller chercher la victoire. Jensen Chalk pour l'instant me paraît le mieux placé. Il va rester 2 tours après ce passage-là. Donc tout reste non seulement possible mais probable, y compris une solitude bizarre de Riley Muro qui avait commis cette petite erreur tout à l'heure. Et on voit que les espaces sont creusés maintenant avec l'arrière.
There is Oliver Warner in the number 23 Argenti Motorsport kart, and I know that he's has a change up at the front. Sen Lindemann takes second as we start lap number 8, and Emerson McAndrew Uren gets squeezed back to 4th position by Zach Zhu. So Zhu into P3. Chalk still leads, and Chalk on 2 points would currently start the super heat from pole position. Zach Zhu would start second with 7 points. McAndrew Uren starting third also with 7 points. Sen Lindemann on 11 points would start 4th. That is as things stand.
Et Zach Zhu qui perd sa position, hein, sous nos yeux dans le banking. Va-t-il pouvoir la récupérer, d'autant qu'il a eu un drapeau noir et blanc. C'est jamais très bon signe, hein. Ça peut valoir une sanction, au moins une convocation dans un premier temps, et un geste qui n'a pas plu à la commission sportive, qui peut voir et revoir à souhait d'ailleurs depuis cette course-ci l'ensemble des passages avec toutes les caméras qui sont là, exactement comme en sport automobile, et les murs d'écran qui permettent de voir les actions et surtout de les revoir et surtout de soustraire toute contestation à qui que ce soit en montrant les images.
We start the final lap. Chalk leads Lindemann, McAndrew Uren and Zhu through turn number 3. Defending and reigning international trophy champion Sen Lindemann draws a bead on the rear bumper of Jensen Chalk's number 18 kart. Out through turns 6 and 7 now onto the panorama banking. Emerson McAndrew Uren is in the slipstream of both leaders. What can the number 2 kart do down the back straight for the final time as Chalk begins to defend?
Ah ouais, et puis Lindemann qui a essayé. Bon, Chalk logiquement était en défensif. Bon, attention à Zhu. Zhu qui malheureusement est éjecté de la piste. Bon, peut-être un petit peu à l'origine quand même de ce qui s'est passé. Zhou qui malheureusement va passer avec beaucoup de retard. Va-t-il pouvoir préserver sa position? La réponse est négative. Zhou qui termine finalement 6e alors qu'il était déjà un petit peu sous les regards de la patrouille, et je crains que ce ne soit encore peut-être... en tout cas il aura essayé, hein. On ne peut pas lui reprocher ça. Riley Muro en a profité, il a été opportuniste, il a bien fait. Makanju Uren termine à la 4e position, devant on trouve Warner, excellent Warner 3e. Lindemann, le champion 2022, termine second, et Chalk logiquement s'empare de la victoire.
Jensen Chalk takes his second win in 3 heat races. He will start the super heat from pole position. We saw there on the last lap, Zach Zhu went for a move of the inside of Emerson McAndrew-Uren. They both ran a little bit wide. McAndrew-Uren forced onto the curb there, coming out of Paddock Bend into Zach Zhu. McAndrew-Uren fades to 4th position. Oliver Warner comes through to finish in 3rd position, and that gives Oliver Warner 6th place unofficially on the grid for the superheat. McAndrew-Uren will start 3rd. He finishes 4th on the road. Riley Murrow, a great top 5 finish for Riley there, with Zach Zhu finishing in 6th, and that means that Zach Zhu will unofficially start alongside Jensen Chalk on the outside of row 1 in the superheat tomorrow. Jack Freeman comes home in 7th place. Senna Shelikans is 8th. Matisse Bragiot is 9th, and Anton Bouchard rounds out the top 10 ahead of Mikhail Zoja, then Boris Malagranda, Chris Carsten Suhr, Mark Andrea Quesada, Austin Oman in 15th position, followed by Samuel Ugon, Alexander Christoph, Ray Haber, Emilian Buol, Nikola Djurjevic, then Kenzo Guinhut, Kimi May, Jensen Walker, Vito Koza. Sadly, Ava Lawrence retired with a bent rear axle and a right rear puncture. Well, that was the end of the Micromax races. We've still got a little bit of time to go before the last 3 races of the day. I think there's 12 minutes of that race remaining. Now, we spoke to most of the leading contenders in Micromax before. I can see Jen down on the grid in the background, and the senior drivers all getting themselves psyched up and ready for battle. This is their 5th heat race, and it all boils down to this: only 36 of the 107 drivers in senior will qualify for the final. Everybody qualifies for the super heat. We'll have 3 senior super heats, but it will be very, very difficult for the drivers at the back of the point standings to even make it into top 36 into tomorrow, after tomorrow's superheat. So there's all to play for here.
Voilà, on vient d'écouter Jen. On rappelle que le meilleur tour a été réalisé par Oliver Warner et que la meilleure remontée est à mettre au crédit du français Marc-Adrien Quesada.
Well, as the drivers settle themselves down, Jen Wade is down with someone in the pit lane. Who have you got, Jen?
Well, I've stumbled upon Baz Lammers on the front row with his driver. Hi, Baz.
Hi, Jenny. How are you?
I'm good. We had a little chat earlier about your driver, and we don't want him to know that we thought he was doing really well, but he's doing really well.
Okay, yeah, he's doing really well. I'm very happy with the results so far. Let's see how it will be. We still have 1 more heat to go, and finger crossed. I wish him all the best, and more than his best he can do. So let's see what he can do.
So, Elia, 445 for anyone that's watching. You want to say hi to anyone at home?
If there is somewhere a single mom, she can come to me.
Wow. Baz Lammers has been training Elia Papachena too well.
That's for sure. No, very lucky. Of course, on the other side, Kai Rilitz, Focus. We know Kai was also on the front row last year. Kai, I have to say, really, this must be one of your favorite tracks.
Yeah, it's a really nice track. Last year went really well, so good this year.
You're a little bit taller this year.
Yeah, grown a bit.
Just a little. Now, I know you've got 283,000 fans watching.
Yeah, all supporting, so it's really nice. Yesterday went really well. Today first he was a bit struggle. Now dry again, and let's see what we can do.
Okay, we will see what you can do. But definitely these two guys have created some great racing. Jaden Tien there. And of course, not everyone wants to talk to me.
Well, tell them tough. Tell them they got to, Jen. Not the rules.
All right, so we've got car 482. Now, Luke, tell us how it's going.
It's going. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's going okay so far. We had a really good qualifying, which I didn't really expect because I never drove here before. But now the results are so-so. Sometimes we're in the front, but sometimes also in the back. But now the final heat, and we'll see what happens.
Have you enjoyed the racing? I mean, it's really competitive.
Yeah, I love this track, of course. It's really awesome. And yeah, the racing is also really good.
We've been watching also, but the micros and minis, I mean, fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't really watch those.
Okay, maybe you should, because you get some really good tips from those guys.
Okay, I will tomorrow.
Very good. All right, so we're organised. Israel, Mr. Pinto, how are you? How are you doing all the way from Israel?
Yeah, I came a lot from away for here. Qualifying went really good, but the heat didn't went like a plan, but I will do my best.
We know you'll do your best. Anyone you'd like to say hi to?
Shalom to my family and everyone who support me.
I'm sure they're all watching you. Jaden over there, Maxence. Of course, Jaden, you take a little bit of a different colour this race. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we had a positive week so far. I think speed was really good. Just a shame we got taken out in the second heat yesterday. Yeah, we have the speed to win, to be on there. So now we have to get back some good points for the last one, and then from there on we can work.
Of course, it's a lot of heats, and it is about the points. You know, then you've got the super heat. So how are you thinking now? As you said, you've got to bag the points. Yesterday, I think you went out with all guns blazing.
Yeah, I'm like 28 overall now, so we have still some work to do. So as I said, I just need to bag some good points in this one. Yeah, we will see where we end.
I think a few people have been unlucky, so in the meantime, we're going to say good luck. We'll be watching. And also with the new team.
Thank you.
Okay, Jean-Borg Kovacs, we're way back here. Row 8 or 9?
Yeah, row 8. We messed up quali so bad, so we are just trying to keep it safe and fighting for the leads. It's working out well so far, so far so good. So we still have one more heat, and we see what happens.
Do you want sunshine or rain?
I think it doesn't matter. In rain, it's easier to come through the field, but we will see what we can do.
Okay, and how do you compare this event with any others that you've done? Would you say, on a comparison to anything else that you race?
For sure, the level is really high. Especially we have 108 drivers, so it can't be low. So the racing is close. Everybody is really similar. So we try to be different than the rest.
Okay, good luck.
Now, Jen, I'm just going to interrupt. Zombo is racing in the UK this year, and he's racing for a Scottish team, Craft Motorsport, run by the Gilberts. Ask Zombo, has he learnt how to swear in Scottish yet? And does he drink his iron brew?
You know any Scottish?
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it.
Okay, good words. It's a family show.
Good words. I sent to my mom, like, they told me, like, alright, ma.
Right, ma.
Right, mom.
Okay, there you go. Look after mum, and that's the most important Scottish to learn to start with.
Exactly. I know some verse, but I think it's not for the interviews.
No, not for the interviews. But you said you picked it, so hi to mum.
Thank you, Jen. Now we have a quick couple of announcements to make. Could the following drivers please come to the stewards immediately? Number 211, Vivian Guillaume. driver 235, Mehdi Hanini, driver 276, Mathieu Dauvergne, driver 290, Rayan Bourguignon, driver number 84, that would be Michael Zoja, driver 88, Zach Zhu, and driver number 4, Ray Haber. Thank you very much, Jen. Thank you to Zombo and the rest of the senior drivers. The next race is Senior Rotax Qualifying Heat B and F. It's up next. Here we go then, 10 laps of racing, 35 drivers. The starting lineup as follows: Elia Papachena and Kai Rillards on row number 1, Jan Pinto and Luc Nissen on row 2.
Sur la ligne numéro 3, Maxence Bouvier, le néerlandais, Jayden Tien. On retrouvera sur la ligne numéro 4, Christophe Saller, l'Autrichien, aux côtés de William Antrobus, le pilote britannique.
On row number 5, Nick Trobech and Nolan Lamari. Row number 6, Lilian Richard and Lucas Schlegel.
Ligne numéro 7 pour le Portugais Enrique de Oliveira, à ses côtés Mario Sidler, c'est un pilote suisse. On retrouvera sur la 8 Tom Cavé, le français, aux côtés du hongrois Kovacs Zombor.
Ugo Grasjo and Malo Ervieu start on row number 9. Joe Bailey and Marcus Olsen go from row number 10.
La ligne numéro 11 dévolue à Léon Zelenko, le pilote numéro 451, aux côtés de Mitch Eugner, le néerlandais.
Alexandra Villiod and Alexandra Aim are next, and Matisse Meloni and Maxence Rees on row 13.
Sur la 14e ligne, Ryan Némé et Jordan Bourdieu. Sur la 15, Jonathan Deveau et Sullivan Baron.
Sasha Aim and Manolo Sondin round out row 16. Alvin Sin and the young lady from Turkey, Sena Sivasa, on row 17. Tristan Konig on row number 18. I got a bit distracted there. I was thinking about Elia Papachena's comment about if a single mum is out there. Now I wonder if that's for him or if that's for Baz Lammers. I don't know. I got distracted and forgot about the grids. I'm very sorry, Jacques Sabatier.
No.
So 10 laps, Elia Papachena, the Italy's most eligible young bachelor by the sounds of it, will bring the field to the start line.
Alors attention, Papachena, il est redoutable. Il a l'air d'avoir beaucoup d'humour en plus, et il regarde sur sa droite parce qu'il va faire le all shot. Meilleur départ pour le pilote Elio Papachena.
And it's on the outside. Kai Rillards trying to hang tough, but he has to fall into line in second place. 3 wide, and at the back of the pack, in the middle of the pack. Who's that? Up and over there. There's 5, 6 carts. Oh dear, and somebody barrel rolling out of their cart. That's the bright green cart. Now,
et il s'est fait mal.
Yes,
il s'est fait mal. Il souffre de la clavicule, je pense. Aïe aïe aïe.
Driver out of his cart, he takes his crash helmet off. We watch the race continue. There are 3 or 4 carts out of the way. Nolan Lamore has been involved in the incident, but Mitch Hejnert in cart number 457 is the TB cart, and it's Mitch Hejnert who has come out of his cart. Now he's with the officials now, and Mitch Hejnert, he has taken his helmet off. He's obviously in a lot of discomfort. He's lying on the grass. We've got a yellow flag, I think, being waved. Yes, full course caution. Full course caution coming through turn number 3. Let's try and unpick that. It was a chain reaction crash. We saw 2 drivers going off. One driver, I can't quite remember who it was. It may have been Nick Trobech up in the air, and then further round the corner as we got red flags, and it's Mitch Hejnert, the Dutch driver of kart 457 on the TB cart. Now, first of all, I would like to say I can see Mitch's mechanic, or maybe his dad, running over to him. Mitch is on the ground. He was, talking. He's talking to the official. He's taken his crash helmet off. And he's just laying down, and that's the race official next to him is telling him to stay laying down. He's asking him not to stand up, not to move, as Mitch talks and communicates. I can see him moving his legs, so he's in a bit of discomfort. When you roll in your kart, sometimes you can land on a shoulder and what have you. We can see the drivers now on our screen coming to a standstill on the start-finish line. So it's Kai Rillart's leading Elliot Papacena, Jan Pinto, Maxime Bouvier. Now the drivers, Nolan Lamore is out of the race. Other drivers that were involved, it was Lilian Richard, Tom Cave, Enrique de Oliveira, who were the other three karts that spun on that opening lap along with Lamore. There's Nolan Lamore.
It's better, hein. Je pense qu'on est, on est rassuré hein, de par la situation qui se propose à nous maintenant. On est très heureux de voir ce pilote se relever. Je pense qu'il y a eu un gros choc, hein, au moins à la clavicule, ce qui n'empêche pas évidemment qu'il soit blessé. Le docteur est là pour vérifier que tout ne va pas trop mal, on va dire, hein, faute de pouvoir dire que tout va bien. On va de toute façon l'évacuer. Il y a un medical center ici au Mans, donc bien sûr qu'on est quand même très rassuré, puis je pense qu'on ne doit pas être les seuls. On voit le papa là qui est avec ce garçon et qui lui aussi a eu très peur.
Yes, as Jacques Sabatier just said, Mitch Hesnut is on his feet and walking towards the ambulance that is just now parked next to him. He's talking to, I believe, his dad and the official down there. So Mitch Hesnut walking to the ambulance, not holding any of his limbs. I think that it's the shock above all things else that sort of like when the shock wears off and you realise that everything still works, then yes, you can get up. But we'll have a full restart. Jacques Sabatier, you can see the drivers re-gridding the karts as per the starting lineup. So Elia Papacena will get an opportunity to start from pole position again. And,
ouais, donc on repart, je pense, sur le départ, hein, la grille de départ qui était initiale, puisque le drapeau rouge est intervenu dans les tout premiers mètres, donc c'était même au premier tour, je pense. Donc Papacena devrait retrouver sa pole position, et à ses côtés on devrait retrouver Kai Rillertz, le redoutable pilote belge.
Yes, now I'm just getting word. We're getting word from the officials that Mitch Hesnut is fine. Okay. He's going to go to the on-site medical centre. And actually, I have to say that I had to visit it yesterday morning for the first time in 25 years just to get something out of my eye. And so the medical team here at Le Mans are fantastic. And Mitch Hesnut is okay. And he will go to the medical centre to be checked out. But just as a precaution, as the remaining drivers go to the restart. Now, whether Nolan Lamore will be allowed to take the restart, I do not know. His kart was not running at the time of the red flag. You can see Nolan at the back of the group. He's got the white, he's just bending down here, the white back on his race suit and the navy blue and light blue stripes on it. You can see him on the right hand side of your screen. Whether he'll be allowed to take the restart or not, I do not know. But the rest of the field are all gathering themselves together now. Oh, it was a really tight run through turn number 1, Jacques, and then going towards turn number 3, it all sort of went a little bit wrong.
Ouais, c'est vraiment c'est moche. Ça nous rappelle évidemment à chaque fois que c'est une discipline de sport mécanique comme les autres, c'est-à-dire qu'avec sa part de risque, et ça il ne faut surtout pas l'oublier. C'est pour ça que lorsqu'on met en cause des décisions arbitrales, il faut être très très prudent, parce que lorsqu'on parle de course, eh bien, il faut à chaque fois mettre en avant la sécurité. À aucun moment on ne se doit évidemment de laisser ça de côté, et je pense qu'on se doit du même coup de saluer tous les officiels qui sont là, hein, qui bossent de toute façon pour les équités, qu'elles soient sportives, qu'elles soient techniques, mais également, et je dirais surtout, pour la sécurité des pilotes, parce qu'après tout, c'est vraiment la chose la plus importante de la Terre, hein. Le reste, c'est un jeu. Le reste, c'est un jeu, et ce jeu est évidemment un jeu dangereux. On vient d'en avoir confirmation.
Yeah, so in a few moments, we just get the drivers all back into line. I remind you, Elia Papacena, Kai Rillarts on row number 1, Jan Pinto, Luke Neeson on row 2, Maxence Bouvier, Jalen Tien, row 3, Christophe Sala, William Antrobus, row 4. Row 5, Nick Trobech, and I'm just looking to see where the 442 cart is. There's Nick. He gives me the thumbs up. And he's okay. Yesterday, Nick Trobech did a full 360 in the air going out onto the banking. And I spoke to Luca Munaretto, his mechanic, and Luca said, Nick just told me that he just closed his eyes and waited until he landed and realised, oh, I'm still going the right way. I'm going to turn and carry on going. So Nick Trobech doing it. Now, looking back, it was number 443. We saw one kart off the ground. That was Enrique de Oliveira on the Cosmic chassis, kart number 443. De Oliveira running for the KR Sport team. He was up, well, he was off all four wheels, flying through the air, going into turn number 3, landed and is able to carry on. He lost a few places, and obviously he lost a lot of places, but he is still in the race. Hopefully that kart is okay. And just looking at the screen there, we can see a lot of drivers. Now the drivers will be sort of those that made a good start. I'll be thinking, oh no.
Voilà les machines qui sont replacées dans l'ordre qui semble être l'ordre initial. Alors bien sûr, il faut que tout le monde admette et comprenne cette situation et l'accepte, bien entendu, même s'ils n'auront pas vraiment le choix, il faut bien le dire. Mais comme on a vraiment le souci dans ce cadre-là d'avoir un maximum de convivialité associée à un niveau sportif que l'on peut qualifier d'éclatant, hein, vraiment, c'est fabuleux, il y a un niveau incroyable dans ce Rotax Max Challenge, et je pense que cet accident, certes, j'espère qu'il n'y en aura pas d'autres, hein, ceci dit, parce qu'on déteste voir ce genre de situation, eh bien prouve et confirme à quel point la bataille est rude, parce que ça s'est passé pratiquement à la fin du peloton, hein, c'est pas devant. Il y a eu une sortie de piste d'abord de plusieurs pilotes, et puis ensuite je pense qu'il y a eu une escalade sur un des karts qui était sorti d'un des concurrents qui était absolument pour rien, le pauvre, et c'est lui qui a été blessé. Voilà, c'est un petit peu résumé cette situation. Coup de chapeau également à la décision directorale d'avoir arrêté cette course et d'avoir décidé de présenter le drapeau rouge. Seule la sécurité des pilotes nous importe réellement. Tout le reste, encore une fois, c'est quelque chose qu'on adore, hein, parce qu'on suit ça depuis tellement d'années, mais très sincèrement, c'est vraiment ce qu'il fallait faire au bon moment, et on va pouvoir repartir. On voit les hommes de tête qui, eux, ne pensent qu'à une chose, c'est reprendre la piste. On voit Papacena, l'italien qui se retourne et qui se dit, mais qu'est-ce qu'ils font, bon sang de bonsoir. Rirler également est prêt à en découdre, hein, parce que c'est lui qui avait réalisé un départ absolument magistral, de même d'ailleurs que Papacena. Et pour évoquer ce qui se passait derrière, eh bien, il faudra regarder le classement, puisque je ne suis pas sûr qu'on ait effectué le moindre tour véritablement pris en compte. Non, aucun. Pinto, Rieler, Pinto, Nissen, Bouvier et Tienne, voilà le classement qui était celui de la qualification au départ, lorsque la pré-grille a été tout simplement présentée. Et les pilotes vont en profiter pour descendre des machines, hein, parce que je ne pense pas que le départ puisse être donné immédiatement, parce qu'il y a des contestations dans l'air. Bon, là, on sort les règlements, et puis ils sont appliqués à la lettre. Il y a évidemment des membres des diverses commissions qui nous viennent de divers pays. Comme dans tous les grands rendez-vous internationaux, eh bien, là, on a vraiment à confronter des avis. Et on le répète, cette année, la nouveauté nous vient de la présence des murs d'écran pour la commission sportive et les stewards qui peuvent visionner et revisionner à souhait des faits de course. Celui-là ne manquera pas et ne dérogera pas à la règle, évidemment. On est en train de regarder qu'est-ce qui s'est passé réellement. Mais à mon sens, puisque nous on l'avait sous le nez, je pense que c'est vraiment un fait de course, hein, un coup de pas de bol, comme dirait l'autre. On n'est jamais à l'abri de ce genre de situation. Alors, dès que évidemment tout le monde sera en place et tout le monde sera en accord, eh bien le tour de formation pourra être relancé, mais cela ne devrait pas être immédiatement, puisqu'on invite les pilotes à rejoindre le muret des stands pour se mettre à l'abri des rayons du soleil. Et oui, on croyait qu'il avait disparu de la circulation, et le revoilà. Il est bienvenu, hein, parce qu'avec le soleil, évidemment, les éclairages deviennent à nouveau sympas.
Okay, we're getting ready to take the restart. Now, the word is this is a complete restart. Obviously, Mitch Hagenut is not in a position to take the restart. He is in the medical track. All the other carts are in race-worthy condition, and therefore, if they're race-worthy condition, the ruling in this event is they can take the restart. So if I was saying that Nolan Amore, who was not running, would not be allowed to take the restart, that would be the case in a British event, but not in this event. So the drivers all, we have a restart with, I believe, 34 drivers on track, and of course the carts are being looked at, and there are some repairs going on circuit. So you can see there's a crowd of FSA officials walking now. Now let's have a little look. There's a driver. I can't see who that cart is. Is that the number 4? Oh, it's a little bit further back. That is a blue NASA panel, and it is one of... I'm trying and see that. Now, judging by the way that cart is being looked at, that's a somewhat bent chassis, but the driver's like, okay, well, we're going to go. And
oui, il est important évidemment de vérifier l'intégrité des machines. Il est très très important de voir que du côté du freinage ou des trains, il n'y a rien qui est à souffrir, hein, si on veut que le pilote puisse repartir dans des conditions qui ne mettent pas en souffrance sa sécurité. J'ai envie de dire, ça suffit comme ça. Donc tout le monde accourt, tout le monde vient. Vous voyez qu'il y a la commission technique qui est là, la commission sportive également, la direction de course, et tout le monde doit s'accorder sur le fait que oui ou non, eh bien, une machine peut repartir ou pas. S'il y a le moindre doute sur l'équilibre sécuritaire du pilote, eh bien, croyez bien qu'on n'hésitera pas un seul instant à l'empêcher de partir, même si c'est désolant, hein, on est tous d'accord avec ça, et je pense qu'on est en qualif, ça concerne des gens qui sont quand même assez loin au classement, donc c'est pas non plus la fin des haricots, comme on dit chez nous.
So it looks as though everyone, including a couple of carts that had some running repairs done to them, will take a complete and full restart. So it'll be a 10-lap restart. At the moment, we have 34 carts on the grid, and the FFSA officials in red there. There is a driver in the white crash helmet. I can't quite see who that is. But all the drivers are set. So Elia Papachena and Kai Rillarts on the front row. Jan Pinto and Luke Neeson on row 2. Maxis Bouvier and Jaden Tien on row 3. Now as we go back there, the driver that was having the repairs done to his cart, that is the number 411 of Sasha Aim. Sasha starting down on the 16th row of the grid, but after that delay, we'll now be getting back underway with the full 10-lap restart, Jacques Sabatier.
Oui, c'est reparti. Enfin, j'ai envie de dire, on a vu un pilote laisser passer tout le monde là pour bien vérifier peut-être par lui-même que tout va bien sur sa machine, hein, parce qu'on a toujours quelques doutes et on n'a pas du tout encore envie de voir une scène semblable à celle à laquelle on vient d'assister. Heureusement, plus de peur que de mal, hein. Le pilote est soigné actuellement, mais on va rassurer tout le monde, pilote ok, c'est ce qu'on se plaît à dire à chaque fois qu'il y a une chute de cette violence. Bon, là il va falloir remettre les températures du côté des pneumatiques. Les zigs et les zags c'est bien, les petits coups de frein, les accélérations également, ça permet de chauffer les jantes qui chauffent les pneus, c'est un petit peu la technique.
So, well, the one question remains is, if any of the karts that were involved in that earlier incident, if they got any damage to them, or if they're going to handle correctly, but we're going to find out very, very soon, as Elia Papachena and Kai Rillarts bring the field around through turn number 13 onto the start-finish line. Lights are out, we're off and racing. Papachena gets a good start. Rillarts comes across, but has to slot back into what is now third position, and that's Jan Pinto in the black crash helmet taking second. No, he doesn't. Rillarts round the outside. Now we hold our breath. This is where it went wrong on the first race into turn number 3, but they all get round cleanly.
Ah, et départ absolument parfait d'Elia Papachena, encore une fois l'Italien, et Rillarts qui a encore une fois pris l'initiative de décroiser, parce que c'est pas évident quand on part de l'extérieur. À un moment il faut aller couper la ligne corde pour prendre sa position, et là ça a été fait, bien compris, bien admis, et je crois que c'est là qu'on voit toute l'habileté et tout le talent de ces pilotes. Premier passage au freinage du chemin au bœuf.
Down towards turn number 11 we go. Your leader, Elia Papachena. Further back, they're still 2 and 3 wide, but now coming out onto the main straight. Kai Rillarts takes the race lead. Rillarts now leads. Papachena in second. Third and fourth is Jan Pinto. Luke Neeson is there in fourth position behind Pinto, with Maxence Bouvier rounding out the top 5 out of Jaden T and Nick Trobech, Salah, Antrobus, Lemore, Richard and De Oliveira.
Ah ouais, là ça monte d'un ton, hein. Très clairement, on sent que la tension est grimpée de 2 étages là depuis cette course-ci. On sait que c'est la dernière qualif du jour, donc tout simplement les enjeux sont plus grands et on voit un nouvel accrochage qui vient de se produire. Ouf, heureusement sans aucune gravité, mais côté humeur, c'est plutôt la mauvaise qui règne au sein de ce groupe à l'arrière, parce qu'il y a eu une incompréhension entre deux pilotes. Ça arrive quand même de temps en temps. Voilà l'attaque au freinage du chemin au bœuf. Magnifique attaque pour le gain de la 4e position, même entre Nissen, Bouvier et Etienne. C'est vraiment à couteau tiré.
Christophe Salah out of the race, and look at this side by side on to the start finish line. It's Rillarts leading still, but only by an inch from Papachena. Pinto in third, then a great group of karts running 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. We're following on the screen now. Here we go into turn number 3. That is Tien, Bouvier, Salah, Lemore, Neeson, Richard, Antrobus, Oliveira, Trobech, Sidler, Cave, Grasto and Kovacs all in a line. But Rillarts, who is currently second in the point standings on 7 points, has the race lead. Papachena, who is 6th in the point standings, in second position. Pinto third, and a couple of other drivers I think have retired. Malo Urview and Sasha Ames. The kart has a new leader, Papachena.
Ah, il est passé au freinage du chemin au bœuf. Oh, avec autorité, avec beaucoup, comment dire, pas d'agressivité, ça serait pas le mot, mais en tout cas beaucoup d'envie, beaucoup d'ambition. Et la belle 3e position, la très belle 3e position détenue et dévolue à Jan Pinto. Jan Pinto, le pilote israélien, qui n'a de cesse de surprendre, hein. Il est incroyable, il est rapide ce pilote-là.
Indeed, now Papachena having to defend going into the Duchesne corner. Lucas Legal sets the fastest lap of the race now. Malo Urvo is out. Sasha Aim is out. Sasha Aim, whose kart was being repaired on the grid, has retired. So obviously those repairs did not work, and Sasha Aim is now out of the race. Malo Urvo involved in a collision with Leon Zelenko, and Aim and Urvo not too happy about that. The number 427 driver out of the race on his EO chassis. The top 2 are clear of Pinto in third, and then it's the Craft Motorsport kart in 4th position. No, it's Nolan Lemore in That's the number 454. Yes, it is Lamore, not the Craft Motorsport kart. He is the RM Concept entered drivers up into 4th position. That is a real turn of the books, considering that Lamore was not running at the time of the red flag, but allowed to take the restart because it was a full race restart.
Et la course parfaite de Papacena pour l'instant, mais j'ai la sensation, je ne sais pas si je me trompe ou pas, que Rillertz en a sous le pied. Rillertz qui observe, et je pense que l'attaque va se produire. Alors on est revenu au format course sèche, donc ça c'est parfait, ça nous fera 2 passages de plus, ce qui fait qu'on n'est même pas à la mi-course et qu'un pilote est prévenu, c'est le 418 qui va recevoir peut-être pas les félicitations du jury pour un comportement qu'on a jugé sans doute un petit peu déplacé. On verra ça tout à l'heure.
Oh, there's a move. That was Jaden Tien passing Moxes Bouvier at the Parc Fermé corner. And now Tien having to try to battle it. There's number 443 kart of Henrique de Oliveira, who took a wild ride in the opening race, but he's back out there and challenging for 7th, 8th position now behind number 435. Zsombor Kovacs puts in a new fastest lap of the race, but up at the front it is still Papacena and Rillartz leading this battle between the 443 kart of de Oliveira and the 482 of Luc Nissen is for 8th, 9th and 10th positions.
Et on voit De Oliveira qui continue de faire vraiment du très bon job là dans ses qualifs. Enrique, le pilote portugais, ils sont pas très nombreux les Portugais à avoir fait le déplacement ici au Mans, mais ça va vite pour De Oliveira. Alors que regardez Rillertz, il va attaquer maintenant. Ah, une attaque, mais alors là, somptueuse, académique, scolaire, qui lui permet de prendre la tête de cette épreuve. Et Papacena, c'est là qu'on a vu qu'il y a du talent quand même pour ceux qui sont devant. L'équilibre entre les pilotes est tellement strict qu'il faut vraiment très peu de choses pour que les écarts se fassent, alors que c'est Nolan Lemray qui vient de s'accorder le meilleur tour en course, le dossard numéro 454 qui pointe une probante 4e position, 6 places de mieux.
This would be Kai Rillartz's 4th win from 5 heat races. Every time it's been dry, Rillartz has won. The wet race this morning, Rillartz fell to 9th position. There is Nolan Lemare, who I have to say is pretty lucky to be in the race after incident on the opening lap of the original restart, but Lemare is making the best use of his opportunity, and the defending and reigning champion, he's had a couple of bad results, so I'm not quite sure if he's even in contention to make the final, but he is trying to, maybe he's going to go out with a bang and not a whimper, as it were. Jan Pinto runs into 4th position. Then it's Tien, Bouvier, Richard, Nissen, de Oliveira and Tom Cave in 10th. Sidler, Grasjo, Kovacs, Trobet, Schlegel, Salah, Olsen, Villiard, Bourdieu and Reitz are the top 20. And we have got 31 karts still running. William Antrobus has had a problem and is faded all the way back to 29th position. So bad news for the Sam Pollitt racing driver. He's also has had one bad result yesterday, so he does not need this result at the moment. There are the leaders coming through the chicane, the final chicane on lap number 8.
Oui, on est dans les 2 derniers tours et Rillert, on le voit avec un style incroyable. Il a un style qu'on trouve d'une élégance absolue. On n'a pas l'impression un seul instant que la machine bouge. C'est à peu près la même chose d'ailleurs pour Papacena. Vraiment, tous les deux sont extrêmement beaux à voir rouler sous l'œil très inquisiteur de Jan Pinto, l'Israélien, et Lemray qui reprend le meilleur tour en course à l'instant. Vraiment, là, c'est les tops. Les tops qui sont en train de dégainer les dernières armes de cette journée pour essayer justement de dégager un minima de points et de s'élancer du mieux possible sur la grille de départ. Pour l'instant, eh bien, il va falloir faire nos comptes parce que ça va être à très peu de choses près difficile de décerner pour l'instant les accessites les plus intéressants pour la pole demain.
So into the Parc Fermé corner and now around the Virage du Stand for the penultimate time. We see the last lap board go out. It's Kai Rillartz leading Ilya Papacena into Restaurant Curve. What can Papacena do? At the moment, Rillartz would be on 7 points and would be second in the point standings. Papacena would be 6th in the point standings. Rillarts would still be looking good for a front row start, even if Papacena went past him here. Lemare and Tien are third and fourth as we head out onto the banking with Rillarts. Now he's going to have to defend. There he goes. Papacena will try and cut underneath the Belgian driver coming out of the final of the banking for the final time onto the back straight.
Ouais, et puis on voit au freinage du chemin au bœuf qu'on ferme les portes, c'est logique, c'est de bonne guerre. Du coup, le troisième qui n'est autre que Nolan Lemray maintenant va venir se mêler. Il lui manquera un tour à Nolan. Attention à leur accélération. Wow, belle course de Lemray qui termine troisième et qui prend le meilleur tour au dernier passage. Il a littéralement fondu sur Papacena et Rillertz parce que tout simplement Rillertz a très logiquement fermé toutes les portes et on a perdu beaucoup de temps à travers ça. Alors attention, il faudra peut-être en tirer des leçons pour la suite parce que si on fait comme ça à chaque fois, je pense que pour les phases finales, ça ne se terminera pas forcément de la même manière. Quatrième position pour Jayen Tien. On retrouve Maxence Bouvier, très bon. En cinquième, il partait de cette position sur la grille. Yann Pinto a craqué un peu dans les derniers tours, c'est dommage. Hein, l'Israélien qui termine sixième devant Luc Nissen, Tom Caveux, très bon huitième. 9e De Oliveira et 10e Richard Lilan Richard.
There we go. There are your top 10, as mentioned by Jacques Sabatier. Outside the top 10, Mario Sidler in 11th, Zombel Kovacs 12th, and Hugo Grasto in 13th, followed by Johan Bourdieu, Lucas Schlegel, Alexandre Villiard, Jules Bailey, Nick Trobech, Baron Sullivan, Maxence Rees, and Marcus Olsen. Christoph Sala finishes 22nd ahead of Jonathan Deveau, Alexandra Aim, and then it was Alvin Sin, Leon Zelenko, William Antrobus, Tristan Koning, Matthias Meloni, Rayan Menemne, and Sena Sivasa. The Turkish lady Sasha Aim and Malo Irvo retired from the race. Sadly, Mitch Hejnert did not take the restart, and a bit of controversy in that one, have to say, but the main thing is that Mitch Hejnert is absolutely fine. 2 races to go. The next race is Senior Grid A versus Grid D, and that will be coming up very shortly. Well, there is a look at the dummy grid. Not sure if Jen is down there at the moment. We're running a little bit behind schedule, so we may not have long. We might have a couple of minutes. Can't see Jen. We're looking at the number 503 cart. That's Aaron Krepsic from Hungary, the KMS Europe driver on the Esprit chassis. And give us a wave, Aaron. Nope. Maybe not. He's in the zone. He is focused, and he gives a brief thumbs up. There's the number 453 of Georgios Kafantaris, and mentioned earlier, but Georgios, one of our Greek drivers, and we hope that everyone in Greece watching is safe and well. The members of the Greek karting community, obviously the wildfires in Greece causing havoc, and so we do wish everybody in Greece well. There's number 458. There's Sver Uban. Now, if you want to know the winning lottery numbers, then I would ask Sver Uban, because he was the driver that gambled correctly on tyres this morning, went onto slicks and won his previous race. He's looking quite happy with himself. We're all on slick tyres here, and now he gets ready. So, final good luck wishes from the mechanics. The drivers sit in their karts, and it's going to be a full 36 kart grid. I'm just checking. Will Ellswood starting last in this race. Now, yesterday he had made up 56 positions, and this morning, let's have a little look. Where did Will Ellswood finish? He finished 9th, so he gained another 27. So that is 57, 67, 77, 84 positions. Will Ellsworth has gained, and he's starting last of the grid for this one, so he is up 84. He's passed more drivers than anybody else in the event. Let's take you through the starting lineup then for the penultimate race of the day. Senior Rotax Group A and Group D. It's Ethan Jeff Hall and Adam Rahali on the front row of the grid. Mark Kimber and Simon Perigny on row number 2.
Sur la ligne numéro 3, on retrouve Montego Massen aux côtés d'Austin Lee, le pilote allemand. Ligne numéro 4 pour Aaron Krepsik, le hongrois aux côtés du français Arthur Robin.
On row number 5, Joe Roussel and Georgios Kafantaris. On row 6, William Christensen and Sven Uben.
Sur la ligne numéro 7, Kamal Emrad aux côtés d'Oscar Pelmel. Sur la ligne numéro 8, Antoine Mahler aux côtés de Tom Biou.
Row number 9, Tom Voyo and Mika Bartholomew. Then Nicky Gauchi, the Maltese Falcon, and Neil Marin Dubois on row 10.
11, c'est la ligne de Macaulay Bishop. Attention à Macaulay. Yarin Schultz sera à ses côtés, le pilote israélien. Derrière, on retrouve Joyce Martin et Marco Philippe de Tempress, pardon.
Hugo Devier and Baptiste Schneider go from row number 13. Anya Leva and Louis Juin on row 14.
Malek Adam et Lotus Finn qui se partagent la ligne numéro 15. Derrière eux, Karol Kaminski et Alessandro Voltaire.
And the final two rows, Gavin Desert and Jake Besselbeek, with Killian Umel and Will Ellsworth rounding out the field. Let's see, let's just first of all check, have we got all 36 drivers on track? Yes, we do. And it's going to be Ethan Jeff Hall, who currently runs third in the points classification. He is going to be looking to sort of solidify that. Austin Lee currently runs 7th in the point standings, and Montego Masson runs 8th in the point standings, but they're coming into the start-finish line now.
Allez, c'est parti pour ces pilotes, c'est bon, avec le très très bon départ depuis la corde du pilote qui était en pole, c'est Ethan Jeff Hall. Voyons s'il arrive à préserver cette position. Au devant, ça va vite, hein, ça freine déjà très très tard. Hop, 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 accrochage derrière. Au même endroit que tout à l'heure, ça a bien failli se terminer un petit peu de la même manière. Heureusement, les pilotes sont restés sur leur roue et vont pouvoir tous deux repartir. Il y en a un, je pense qu'il va plutôt rentrer à la maison. Hein. Pour lui, c'est terminé.
We've got carts going off at the first corner, carts going off at the second corner. Oh no, one of them is Will Ellsworth as well, and more carts going off on the run up to the banking. You can tell that drivers are getting desperate now because it's all hands on deck, and drivers started to go for moves that may not be on. Let's look back. Hugo Devier, Joyce Martin have been involved in incidents. I'm looking back there. Louis Juin has also had a problem on the opening lap. Arthur Robin has lost positions. Mika Bartholomew, all sorts. But the battle for the lead is on between Mark Kimber and Ethan Jeff Hall. Will Ellsworth, Jake Besselbeek, Louis Juin, Joyce Martin, Hugo Devier, all involved in accidents, and Ellsworth is out of the race. That is a real tragedy for William Ellsworth. I think his chances may have just gone, but the battle is on for the race lead.
Ouais, une petite erreur devant et ça a été tout de suite un écart creusé. On a vu Jeff Hall et Mac Kimber. Je pense que c'est Kimber qui a fait cette petite erreur. Ça a permis à Massen carrément de revenir dans l'arrière-train du pilote précité. Et on va voir si derrière on est capable justement d'aller chercher ce trio qui s'est formé maintenant avec Massen, Kimber et Jeff Hall. Dans quel ordre? Eh bien Massen, qui est passé en deuxième position. Et Adam Rally qui en a profité, qui s'est saisi du troisième rang. Attention à Adam Rally, hein, il est capable de faire des très très belles choses. Pour l'instant, il ne figure pas dans les tout premiers parce qu'il a connu quelques déboires dans ses qualifs. Mais on sait que potentiellement, il est capable de rouler avec les plus vite. Là, pour l'instant, c'est ce qu'il fait d'ailleurs.
So we've got Ethan Jeff Hall leading Montego Masson and Adam Rahali. Then a gap back to Mark Kimber in 4th position. Kimber is just in front of Austin Lee, Simon Perigny and Georgios Kafantaris, with Kamal Murad and Joe Roussel up next. But Ethan Jeff Hall, well, Mark Kimber dropping back to 4th position, hands Kai Rillart's pole position for his superheat tomorrow. Ethan Jeff Hall currently 3rd in points, but he has got Montego Masson and Adam Rahali right behind him as they complete lap number 3.
Allez, attention, parce qu'il va y avoir, je pense, certainement un petit peu de grabuge maintenant. Avec Jeff Hall, avec Massen, avec Rahali, on a un trio qui est tellement proche les uns des autres qu'il est bien difficile d'avoir en quelques ambitions sur les pronostics que l'on pourrait produire pour savoir qui de l'un, qui de l'autre va pouvoir remporter cette épreuve et marquer le minimum de points. Bien sûr, on a tendance à penser que Jeff Hall est bien parti pour réaliser quelque part quelque chose de bien. Maintenant, encore une fois, l'Allemagne avec Maassen, l'Algérie avec Rahali est en train de lui tenir la dragée haute. C'est bien, personne ne s'en va.
There we go, out of the banking through turn number 9. Jeff Hall there over the curbs. And change for second place forthcoming. Here comes Adam Rahali, the Algerian driver, passes Montego Masson for second position. Then there's Kimber, Austin Lee, and the rest. In fact, I'm looking there, has Austin Lee has passed Mark Kimber for fourth position. And that is actually, and a big crash at the back of our screen there. Two drivers in the barriers coming out of the final corner. Both drivers up and out of the carts trying to get themselves refired. It's Oscar Pellemel and Alexandru Volta are involved there. So Pellemel and Volta, Pellemel gets going, Volta gets going, Pellemel out of the race. So the 2021 E20 Grand Finals champion is out of the race. Ethan Jeff Hall continue to lead from Adam Rahali and Montego Masson.
Ouais, il va peut-être falloir intervenir d'ailleurs sur ce pilote qui paraissait un peu sonné après ce choc qui a semblé suffisamment violent pour expédier deux pilotes jusque dans les protections. Aïe, décidément, on le sent, ça monte tranquillement mais sûrement, alors que Jeff Hall, Montego Masson continue de s'expliquer naturellement avec Adam Rahali qui est là pour jouer déjà une quart de second. Magnifique performance de ce trio, sachant qu'il y en a un qui nous inquiète et pour lequel nous sommes admiratifs, c'est Georgios Kafantaris qui tour après tour alterne ses propres meilleurs records et du coup il remonte au 6e rang, 4 places reprises pour le grec.
Yes, Kafantaris setting a new fastest lap, 54.577 seconds. He is in 6th position, chasing Mark Kimber. Kimber has fallen to 3rd in the point standings. Ethan Jeff Hall, the race leader, is now up to 2nd. Now there are 3 superheats, so at the moment, Rillart's Jeff Hall and Kimber would start on pole position for each of their superheats, but we've still got one race to go after this as we can complete lap number 6 and go on to lap number 7. The 3 leaders nose to tail. Ethan Jeff Hall for Strawberry Racing, Rahali for the Yanis Dubail entered team, and then Montego Masson in kart 489 for Kraft Motorsport. We go out of turn number 4, the Duchesne curve, into turn number 5. Behind the 3 leaders, there's another group of 4 karts, Kimber, Lee, Murad and Jules Roussel. Then it's Aaron Krepsik, Simon Parigny and Georgios Kafantaris rounding out the top 10.
Allez, devant, on a l'impression qu'il a passé la surmultiplier notre ami Ethan Jeff Hall. Là, il me semble légèrement plus rapide que la concurrence. Une concurrence qui, cependant, est en train, certes, de résister, mais également de s'expliquer pour préserver, concernant Rahali, la 2e position, pour essayer, concernant Massen, d'aller la chercher, cette 2e position. Et ces 3-là sont partis. Derrière, on a beau être aussi doué que Mark Kimber, qu'Austin Lee ou que Kamal Emrad. Eh bien, pour l'instant, on n'arrive pas à refaire la soudure devant.
Now Ethan Jeff Hall begins to stretch them out. The young driver from Heysham, near Preston in Lancashire in the United Kingdom. Adam Rahali under pressure from Montego Masson. Georgios Kafantaris, another new fastest lap, 54.409. He's down in 10th position, but let's have a little look. Where is Kavan? 3, 6, 9, 10. He's catching. Well, he's a long way back from 9th place, Aaron Krepsik, but he's pulling away. Is Kafantaris from Tom Bio, from Arthur Roban, from William Christensen, from Macaulay Bishop, from Tom Voyot, from Antoine Mahler, Yarin Schultz and Mika Bartolome.
Alors que la course est gagnée, c'est fait pour Ethan Jeff Hall qui se présente avec une avance considérable maintenant. Et tiens, un changement de meilleur tour en course pour Simon Périgny maintenant qui s'en empare avec le 8e rang. C'est pas tout à fait s'il espérait compte tenu qu'il partait de la 4e position, mais tout de même là il est en train de démontrer toute l'étendue de son potentiel. On va essayer de retenir ce nom et ce prénom parce que demain on aura, je l'espère, à le citer à plusieurs reprises. Alors, il est parti, hein, Jeff Hall qui est parti, Raleigh qui est prévenu également pour des attitudes qui sont jugées non conformes à la logique sportive. Pour ce qui est en tout cas de ce trio, il sera bel et bien constitué de Jeff Hall, de Raleigh, de Massen, mais dans quel ordre concernant les deux derniers cités? Ben voilà, ça va rester comme ça.
The leaders come through the Chevin Booth corner, and Ethan Jeff Hall now easing away. He's not under any more pressure from Adam Rahali. Rahali has got the attentions of Montego Masson to deal with as we begin the Dernier Tour, the final lap of the race. Through Restaurant Curve they go. The battle for second is on. Can Montego Masson pass Adam Rahali for P2? Behind them, Kimber runs fourth, Lee fifth, Roussel, Murad, Perigny, Krepsik and Kafantar is the top 10. As things stand, Ethan Jeff Hall will start the Superheat C from pole position. And Kimber will start Superheat B from pole position. Rillarts will start Superheat A from pole position. That means that all three Superheats will be led to the line by Strawberry Racing drivers, but it's going to be Ethan Jeff Hall's race on this occasion.
Ouais, et là je pense que jusqu'au bout ils ont intérêt à se battre, hein, parce que ça va se jouer à un point près certainement. La preuve, hein, ce dernier passage pour la chasse amenée par Mark Kimber qui l'emporte devant Austin Lee et Jules Roussel. Belle course également d'Emrad, Kamal Emrad, le pilote australien qui a gagné 6 positions à ce niveau et à ce moment de l'épreuve. C'est quand même pas rien. Aïe aïe aïe.
Oh dear, that's the number 4, 5, 8 cart of Sver Uben. Uben has come together with somebody else at the end of the mains, the back straight, and I'm just having a little look down to see who the other driver was. Maybe Louis Juin, I think, may have been the other driver involved, but Sver Uben will not finished the race. He gets out, he looks in a little bit of discomfort. I'm trying to see who the other driver was. It could have, I think it may have been Yarin Schultz who Sver Uben came together with. But there is a look at your finishing order, and Kellyan Hulmel from the back of the grid, 35th position. Kellyan Hulmel finishes 21st. That's not a bad result at all, as the drivers Oscar Pellemel, Sver Uben. Oh, that 32nd position, could that push Sver Uben out of the contention for the final tomorrow? They've got one race to go today. These drivers have got one race to go in tomorrow morning, the Superheat, to decide which 36 go through to the main final. Have to say that after William Ellsworth had passed 84 drivers in his 4 heat races, that 36th place finish, that retirement, may have just made it impossible for Ellsworth to qualify. But with one race to go, Jen Wade is back down in the pit lane. Take it away, Jen.
Okay, something a little bit different, Henry. On the way to Le Mans, we came across someone in their van and trailer, and they had a problem with, I don't know, something. What happened on the way to Le Mans?
Yes, about a couple of meters for Paris, our gearbox was broken. We were standing on a parking lot. We have to fix the van, and we fixed it with a couple of tie wraps, and we made it to here to the race.
Yeah, lucky they had the go-kart trailer on.
With some toolbox with us, so we can. I'm a mechanic, so I can fix the van also.
And I think we agreed that if we saw you on the way home, on the way here, after that, because we were having a coffee break, you left before us from the garage.
Yes, that's okay, and I saw you, and we have a nice conversation, and we go further.
I must admit, I didn't envy you stopping right near Paris, broken down.
Yes, now we're here now, and it's okay.
It's okay, you're on the front row.
Yes, that's good. That's good. The bad luck we have already had, so.
That's it, Devian Rose, and I think a few parts out of the go-kart toolbox saved the day, got you here to Le Mans, and you weren't stuck in Paris for the week.
Yes, that's true. Yes. So a part of the engine is on the van now.
Yeah, and that part, was it a clamp?
A clamp, airbox clamp.
Okay, the airbox clamp saves the day to Le Mans, and we're happy you're here. Congratulations, also fantastic to be on the front row.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Jen. The mechanics leave the grid. It's the final race of the day, Jacques Sabatier. It's Senior Rotax qualifying Group C against Group E.
Ah oui, et puis c'est vrai qu'on est non pas inquiet, mais on sent bien que la pression monte. Avec elle, évidemment, les risques sont bien présents. Hein. On vient de voir qu'un nouveau pilote s'est blessé, là, doit être évacué suite à ce crash qui s'est produit et qui a été assez violent. Bon, a quand même pas dramatisé la chose, au contraire, à positiver pour espérer que ce pilote sera présent parmi nous demain. En attendant, eh bien, on va checker du côté de son état de santé pour savoir ce qu'il en est. Et regardez cette grille de départ, la senior est magnifique.
Here we go, there's a look at the drivers. One more time today, we'll bring you the starting lineup. Pole position, driving kart 493. For Dan Holland Racing, it's Matthew Higgins, Devian Royst, -1 karting van, but with a great fast Tony kart underneath him. Starts on the outside of row number 1. Lewis Gilbert, the pride of Scotland, and Guillaume Treillard di Camino start on row number 2.
Sur la ligne numéro 3, Kai Hunter, le pilote britannique, aux côtés du Polonais Colin Vazny. Sur la 4e ligne, Ethan Faramond, le Français numéro 477, aux côtés du Néerlandais Wout Kurtgen.
Row number 5, Frederick Zevis Christiansen and Chloe Cannard. And row 6, Andrei Petrovic and Jamie Perilli.
Un Français Titouan Lescalier sur la 7e ligne aux côtés de Mathias Joseph. 8e ligne pour Tila Harris, le Britannique, aux côtés de l'Autrichien Mets Argun.
On row number 9, we have Hugo Paget and Kem Argun. And row number 10, Dion van Vermen and Axel Gush.
Paul Grisel partage la ligne 11 avec Léo Lopez. Sur la 12, Giacomo Marchiorio aux côtés de Nicolas Chénaud.
Row number 30, Matisse Marais and Tim Terrasson. Row number 14, Kilian Ferrer and Alexis Stockson.
Ligne 15, Jan Schmidt, le pilote autrichien, aux côtés du Libanais, de la Libanaise Stéphanie Obeika. Pour la ligne numéro 16, Andrea Kosik aux côtés de Leit Moumina.
And the final 2 rows of the grid, Antoine Antier and Tom Langlois, and Samuel Ivanov and Pietro Valdo Ponce. And a quick check at the timing screen. Oh, Antoine Antier, the driver of kart 501, the PKS driver on the Gillard chassis, has not gone out. So 35 drivers come into the final corner behind Matthew Higgins and Devian Royce. The lights are out. We are off and racing. It's a good start from Higgins, who comes across to try and prevent being squeezed into turn number 1 by Devian Royce. And Higgins gets the job done, and Lewis Gilbert moves up into second position. 1 or 2 drivers the back of the field having some issues, but the leaders all go into turn number 3, and everybody, just about everybody, around the first 3 corners cleanly. Higgins leads, Gilbert leads Hunter. It's Wales versus Scotland versus England at the front, and there's not a rugby ball in sight.
Ouais, très bon départ de Gilbert. Rost a dû céder à l'assaut du pilote britannique, assez logiquement d'ailleurs, parce qu'il partait les 3 Britanniques l'un derrière l'autre. Il y avait Higgins, il y avait Gilbert, il y avait Hunter qui était sur la corde, donc un petit avantage évidemment au moment du départ. Un départ qui, ceci dit, a été beaucoup plus sage que ce qu'on a vécu tout à l'heure et qui va nous rassurer par rapport à la suite.
They come out of turn number 13 now, and it is Higgins. Looks over his shoulder as he looks right. Gilbert goes left, and Lewis Gilbert takes the race lead. Kai Hunter follows Gilbert through. Now Gilbert at the moment is, well, Higgins is 4th in points, Gilbert is 5th in points. That would move Gilbert up into 4th in points, and Higgins down to 5th in the points table. They would both be starting their superheat from the outside of the front row of the grid as they things stand. In fourth position on that Tony Kart chassis, Devian Royst. The number 465 entered. Rob Royst, his dad we spoke to earlier, Jen spoke to earlier. They've got to deal with a broken go-kart van after this weekend, but at the moment let's concentrate on the track. Guillaume Treard, Vuk Kirstjens, Ethan Faramon, Colin Vashni, the Polish driver in kart 505 is 8th, followed by Chloe Cannard and Jamie Perilli.
Ouais, et Rust qui est en train de revenir, le pilote néerlandais, qui est en train de recoller aux 3 Britanniques avec le meilleur tour en course pour Devian Rust, le dossard numéro 465. Vous allez voir qu'il va venir se mêler à cette lutte devant, une lutte qui n'existe pas pour l'instant d'ailleurs. Hein.
Oh.
On est resté dans le même ordre depuis le départ. Par contre, vu que Rust est en train de les rejoindre, je pense qu'il va falloir peut-être en rajouter une petite louche devant.
Tyler Harris has sadly retired the number 426 kart, and Tom Langlois, we just saw on our cameras, he has also gone out in kart number 444. Laith Mumina from Saudi Arabia also in difficulty, so we're down to about 33 karts at the moment. Gilbert has the race lead, but for how long? Kai Hunter wants it badly. Gilbert, how much does Gilbert want to keep it? Because Kai Hunter's had one bad result. Gilbert's been very, very consistent. Hunter's got more to lose. Gilbert's got more to lose. Hunter has more to gain. Here goes Kai Hunter looking to the inside in turn number 1. Not this time, as fourth place driver Devian Royce closes right in.
Ouais, il est de plus en plus proche. Hein. Et regardez derrière également, avec les deux Français qui sont en train de revenir également, Treillard de Kinemo et Faramon, aux couleurs d'ailleurs du Team France. Et très franchement, je pense que potentiellement, on va regarder les temps qu'ils font, mais ça devrait pouvoir leur laisser respirer d'aller chercher Devian Rust, qui vient à nouveau de gagner le meilleur tour en course. Attention à ce Néerlandais qui va troubler la fête britannique peut-être.
New third place driver Devian Royst up the inside of Gilbert, going on to the panorama banking. This is lap 4 out of 10. Number 465 Devian Royst closing in on Hunter and Gilbert. In fifth position we've got Guillaume Treard, then it's Ethan Faramont and Wout Kirstens also joining this group. The back two drivers in this lead battle, Guillaume Treard and Ethan Faramont from France, running in 5th and 6th. Then a gap back to Kirstens in 7th, but then a bigger gap back to Vashni, Petrovic, Perilli, Lescalier, Van Verven, Zebis Christensen and San Marino's own Giacomo Macciolo up 9 places to 14th.
Ah, il est passé Rust en 3e position. Du coup, Higgins va être sous les assauts de Treillard de Kinemo et de Faramon d'ici quelques passages. Ça y est, la soudure est quasiment produite. Et devant, changement de leader. On va bien sûr avoir un œil sur ce fameux freinage du chemin au bœuf où il se passe tellement de choses. Et Kai Hunter aurait pu faire le job justement pour aller chercher la meilleure position.
An urgent call for the paddock. Driver 276 Matthew Dauvergne and driver 290 Ryan Bourguignon. 276 and 290, you must go to the stewards immediately. 276 290 to the stewards immediately.
Voilà, c'est fait, le quatuor s'est transformé en sextet maintenant, avec 6 pilotes à même de pouvoir remporter cette manche, je pense, puisque derrière, certes, il y a Kurtgen également qui évite, mais pas suffisamment pour défendre et d'éventuelles possibilités d'aller chercher la victoire. Pour l'instant, on n'en est pas là, on est exactement à la mi-course, on va même passer légèrement au-dessus tout à l'heure, et il s'en va. Kai Hunter qui est en train de partir un tout petit peu, Kai qui fait la différence.
Yeah, so Kai Hunter decided that, Kai Hunter now leads from Gilbert with Royce third, Higgins in fourth place. Matthew Higgins looks like he's struggling a little bit there. He's falling away from the top 3 into the clutches of Guillaume Treard and Ethan Faramon. Now that could be tyre pressures. That could be Higgins realising that, okay, at the moment I'm going to be starting third in my superheat, and that's fine by me. I just don't want to risk anything. I got to save my tyres. It doesn't matter, even if I pass one or two of these drivers in front of me, it's not going to make much of a difference to where I start the superheat. So Higgins is maybe easing back a little bit, saving his tyres, because he's got 2 long races tomorrow.
Et on a vu ce passage de Faramond, hein, très intrusif, très incisif, très efficace en tout cas sur le pilote Treillard de Kinemo. Et c'est passé vraiment avec une aisance remarquable. Bravo, hein, parce que Treillard était quand même extrêmement rapide. Et là maintenant la question, connaîtra sa réponse assez vite. Il va rester 3 tours avant la fin de cette manche. Est-ce qu'on est capable d'aller rouler aussi vite côté France que ce trio britannique et ce solo néerlandais avec Rust qui reste à la 3e position pour l'instant, mais il me paraît solide 3e et capable peut-être d'améliorer cette place.
Now Kem Argun has also retired, the Austrian driver in car number 468. But up at the front, look at these 4 drivers. They come out to turn number 5, through the turn 6 S's, down through turn 7, up towards the panorama banking. It is Hunter versus Gilbert Royst. Higgins with Ethan Faramond now up into 5th position in cart number 477. The Yanis Dubeo entered cart, and then behind Faramond is Guillaume Treillard in cart number 439, the independent run driver on the Cosmic chassis, as they complete lap number 8 out of 10. The top 6 are clear. 7th position, that orange and white cart, that is now Slovenia's Andrej Petrovic in cart 461. Serbia's Andrej Petrovic, I do apologise. The SCC Sports still driver. Vuk Kirstens is 8th, and it's Perilli, Lescalier, Van Verven, Varshney, Zebis Christiansen, Joseph Argun, Paget, Canard, Machoro, Grissel and Terrasson.
Ouais, c'est beau devant. Attention à cette explication qui s'annonce. On est en train de préparer une estocade là, depuis la 3e position de Russ qui s'est vu dépasser par Gilbert à nouveau. Et la réplique ne se fera peut-être pas attendre. Au bout de la ligne droite du chemin au bœuf, pas de possibilité. On est obligé de fermer la porte ensuite, donc on perd du temps. Et c'est en train d'offrir une victoire magnifique à Kai Hunter qui ne sera plus rejoint maintenant.
Yes, they can. Kai Hunter can now start to relax. He begins the final lap because it's Lewis Gilbert under a lot of pressure. Royst forcing Gilbert to defend. Hunter has gone. He's going to take another victory, and he needs it after his incident in the first race yesterday. Gilbert having to defend from Royst, from Higgins, and from Faramond. Treillard not close enough to make an impact, but it's 4 drivers battling over 2nd position as they go through the Duchesne corner. Gilbert, the Craft Motorsport driver, the Diamond of Dalry in Scotland, has his hands full with Devian Royst, Higgins and Faramond. Round through the banking, Hunter has escaped. Lewis Gilbert, this is to ensure that he starts his superheat tomorrow from 2nd on the grid. And Gilbert looking over, he's defending, it looks like he's just about done enough, but Devian Royst is not done yet.
Ouais, et puis regardez cette victoire magnifique de Kai Hunter, parce que derrière on a carrément ralenti le rythme dans le dernier tour. Tout ça parce qu'on a fermé les portes, tout simplement, les trajectoires n'étant pas idéales. Comme à chaque fois, on perd un petit peu de temps. Donc Gilbert à la 2e position, Rose 3e, Higgins 4e, 5e Faramond, 6e Treillard de Kinemo, 7e Andrej. On retrouvera ensuite Perilli à la 8e position, Kurten au 9e rang et 10e Titouan Lescalier qui a fait une très belle course également. Titouan, meilleur tour en course, et ça devrait rester dans les mains de Titouan Lescalier justement, sachant que la plus belle remontée, elle est celle de 10 positions pour Pietro Valdo Ponce, le pilote italien qui termine 26e.
Yes, Pietro Valdo Pons finishing in 26th position. There is your provisional result from the 18th and final race of the day. Kai Hunter, Lewis Gilbert, Devian Royst and the rest. Looking back at the top 24 on our screens now, the Apex timing crew will wait for all the results to be made official with any penalties applied, and they will produce the intermediate classification. All 293 drivers will go through to the superheat in their class. The superheat, the grids for the superheats decided by the point standings at the end of the heats, which is now. The points you score in the superheats are then added to your heat points, and in junior and senior, the top 36 drivers in points after their heats and super heats have been combined. They decide the 36 drivers that go through to the finals. In every other class, the heats points and the super heat points are combined after tomorrow morning, and they decide the starting lineup for those finals. It has been a dramatic and very exciting day of racing. It started wet, and look at it now, bathed in sunshine here at the Le Mans International Karting Circuit. Jacques Sabatier, what a day it has been.
Ouais, c'est un jour merveilleux, encore un que le kart nous a offert avec le Rotax Max Challenge. Je crois qu'on est gâté, le niveau est exceptionnel et franchement on n'a pas de mots pour qualifier le niveau qui est affiché. Aucun problème technique sur l'ensemble de ces mécaniques qui confirment à quel point elles sont d'une extrême fiabilité et d'une extrême performance. On a des courses très claires, très limpides. On regrette évidemment cet accident tout à l'heure, mais qui n'est dû qu'à une faute de chance. Malheureusement, cela arrive de temps à autre. Pour ce qui nous concerne, eh bien, on prend rendez-vous avec les seniors. Première super hit demain matin à 11h43. Il sera presque la fin de la matinée lorsqu'on reverra les seniors.
So tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, first things first, it just gives me an opportunity to say thank you to the marshalling team and the medical team here at Le Mans International Karting. Tomorrow morning, the first super heat begins at 9:19 local time, so that is 20 past 9 in the morning. We will be on air just after 9 a.m. somewhere local time, once again on motorsport.tv. So please set your diaries, send the links out on your social media followings, and tell as many people as possible to tune in tomorrow, because tomorrow 6 drivers will book their plane tickets to Bahrain for the 2023 Rotax Max Challenge International Finals. On behalf of Jacques Sabatier, this has been a 3MK Events promotion brought to you by WFR Live TV, broadcast on motorsport.tv. This has been the penultimate day of the 2023 Rotax Max Challenge International Trophy from Le Mans. See you tomorrow. Au revoir.
Bonsoir à toutes et à tous, à demain.